flights and a 1-hour direct flight to Denver. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Ponce Bay Agency State Farm continues in Timberlake, and our keys to success continue with Stanley County head coach Max Foth. Some nights it's a sideways step, some nights it's a backward step, but it had to be, you consider, a forward step with the way your team ran the ball against White River last Friday night.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was great to see the guys. We ran it well, we threw it well. Offensively, we looked really good. We scored it almost every time we had the football, and anytime you do that, you're going to make life easy on your defense. And I was proud of our defense too. We struggled a little bit in the first half trying to get White River off the field, and then we really locked them down in the second half and played some good football.
Where have you seen Colton improve the most from the start of training camp to now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was his confidence. It's tough to be confident as a sophomore running back. He's nervous, he's a little anxious out there, but the more carries he's had and the more time he's had in the backfield, the better he's played. And we gave him the ball a ton last week, and he didn't disappoint. He's one of the hardest working kids we got on our team, and we're happy to give him the ball, and he's certainly earned it.
Your secondary keeps being tested, and they keep answering the challenge as they keep making big plays. You've got 9 interceptions now in 5 games. What about the play of your secondary?
I'm so proud of those guys because they're outside of Chase Hansen, they're all freshmen and sophomores. So it's a lot of catch with mom and dad growing up to be able to have those type of ball skills this early in the game. So credit to their parents too. It's been so fun to watch these guys grow, and like I said, confidence is so key. All of a sudden in that second half, our defense was playing with a lot more confidence, and it really showed.
Nothing against White River, but you're playing a pretty good football team tonight. And I know Hank Kraft's gone, but what hasn't changed is the way this Timberlake team does things. And a result, I know they wanted to be the other way last week. Had it been for mistakes, it probably would have been. Pretty good football team you're playing tonight, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They've got a nice program here. They do a great job. I also am relieved we don't have to tackle Hank Kraft again or try to tackle him again. No, they're so aggressive on defense, and they're very aggressive on offense too. So, they play one way, and that's physical and fast, and we've got to match that energy and hopefully try to use that against them on the defensive side.
I was talking with Coach Gimbel about all the different players on both sides of the ball that either get touches or make plays on defense. That's something that makes it a challenge to prepare for, isn't it?
Yeah, it's important. They remind me of a lot of ourselves in that regard. We don't necessarily have one player that we really, hang our hat on, but we kind of do it by committee, and they're kind of the same way. So it's tougher to prepare for, and it's definitely a challenge, but we're looking forward to accepting that challenge tonight.
What are your keys to success to come out of here with a big win?
I think we have to start fast. Anytime you're playing a team that's as aggressive as Timberlake, you have to start fast, be able to match their intensity. And I think as long as we do that, we should be in for a 4-quarter battle, and it should be some good football tonight.
Stanley County head coach Max Foth as his team gets ready for, yes, a big game. Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Coming up, it's more on the Becky Ponce State Farm pregame. We will have the starting lineups and the law on the field from Timberlake when we return in 2 minutes here on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
Access Health Fort Pierre welcomes new and established patients, offering chronic and acute care for all ages, including evaluations for illness and injuries, immunizations, lab testing, wellness exams, and DOT and sports visits. Same-day appointments are available, and most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health Fort Pierre, assuring access to quality health care.
Is your truck or fleet insurance a one-size-fits-all approach? The commercial line agents at Fisher Rounds & Associates know that each company fleet, owner-operator, or ag producer has unique coverage needs. We understand all the risks and liabilities, so we can create a customized policy that ensures you are fully covered. We're at your service, at your side. Fisher Rounds & Associates, serving your truck insurance needs with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Rapid City, Sioux Falls, and Watertown.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Hey, new guy. Shovel, right?
Yeah, right. And I'm not exactly new. I've seen some action.
Yeah, what's your story?
Hey, my last gig, I nearly got electrocuted, almost drowned. That guy never called 811 to see if it was safe to dig.
Our guy calls every time he digs.
It's quick and easy. Any tool could do it. Calling 811 gets your underground utility lines marked for free.
Hey, safe digging is no accident. Always call 811 before you dig.
This message brought to you by Montana Dakota Utilities, in the community to serve.
And indeed, Montana Dakota Utilities brings you the starting lineups. Timberlake with junior quarterback Grayson Hansen, 6 touchdown passes, just 1 interception. He is a junior. Slater Ducheneau, the senior running back, nearly 10 yards a carry and 3 touchdowns in 387 yards and 40 carries. Carter Keller, another running back, a junior, 5'10", 170. Cole Ducheneau with a couple of touchdowns. Ducheneau is a sophomore. Their leading receiver is Thane Keller with 11 catches and 4 for scores and 233 yards. Isaiah Ducheneau is another tight end. And in the interior, Dawson Jewett at one guard, a 295-pound senior. The center, Dan Peterson. The right guard is Trayton Dupreez. That's how the offense starts for Timberlake of head coach Ryan Gimble in his 4th year with a record of 22-11. Now Stanley County with their starting lineup. Brock Zabe is the quarterback, the junior. 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, nearly 500 yards passing. Colton Brady, after his huge game against White River, the sophomore, now with 554 yards rushing, nearly 7 a carry, and 5 touchdowns. Barrett Schweitzer, the junior fullback, with 3 touchdowns rushing and 2 receiving. Chase Hansen with 12 catches, 2 for scores. Paxton Deal, the freshman, starts. Jackson Getty, the senior, also starts. Blaze Frost will also be utilized. And on the interior, what a line the job did in blocking last week. Hayden Rogo, Case Kolda, and Noah Baldwin. Rogo, the sophomore, one guard. Baldwin, the sophomore, the other. And Kolda, the freshman center. And, of course, interchanging with them and playing a lot of the defense will be the seniors Nathaniel Nelson and Tyler Leiferman. The starting lineup is brought to you by Montana Dakota Utilities. The Law on the Field is brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection. We'll hear from them and come back to Timberlake in 30 seconds here on KGFX.
Attorney General Mark Vargo here, talking about sweepstakes scams. We all want to receive that call that says we've won a sweepstakes, and scammers know this. If you receive a call or an email saying you've won, but you need to pay taxes by placing money on a gift card or by mailing cash, it's a scam. It is illegal to ask for funds up front for taxes, tariffs, or customs. If you've been victimized by this scam, please reach out to my Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
And thanks to the officials who are working tonight's game. Pleasant weather here in Timberlake. It wasn't hot today, but it was warm, just like it was in Pierre. And currently, with the skies more clouds than sun at the moment, we have 73 degrees. It's pretty nice now. It'll cool off a little bit after the sun sets. That wind is out of the south at around 13 miles an hour. So the team that goes from left to right, as you look at it, will have the prevailing wind in this game. Stanley County, and if you're watching, you can see they are wearing their home mainly white tops with purple numerals and letters in gold trim, the purple and gold piping on the shoulders, and the gold shorts with the purple and white piping on the side. Burgundy uniforms, all burgundy for Timberlake, with the white numerals and letters and the white piping on the uniform. Solid burgundy helmets, and of course Stanley County's helmets are white with the familiar buffalo logo on the side. Stanley County came here last year. We referred to the game earlier. It was 40-0 Timberlake. That was the first game of 2021, and that was the start of a huge season for Hank Kraft, as he ran all over the Buffaloes, and of course he ran all over a lot of teams. In fact, this Timberlake team made it all the way to the semifinals in the 9AA playoffs. They beat Leola Frederick area here 14-8, went to Presho, beat Lyman. Of course, that was the week after the Raiders had eliminated Stanley County in the first round. Then here they lost to the eventual state champion, Platte Geddes, who's still trying to find its sea legs a little bit in this 2022 season. Grayson Hansen, Jaden Miller, A.J. Linskov, Slater Duchesneau. They're the captains for Timberlake. And for Stanley County, it's Brock Zabe, Chase Hansen, Barrett Schweitzer, and Nathaniel Nelson. They'll come out as the coin toss will happen here in just a moment. We're not too far from getting this game going. In fact, the opening kickoff is brought to you by Lynn's Dakota Mart and Fort Pierce. So let's hear from those good folks, and then we'll get it going here in Timberlake in 30 seconds here on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
Lynn's Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre. Check out their great selection in the meat, deli, and produce department and hardware, as well as the rest of the store. The freshest and best quality in the area. Don't see what you need? Just ask. Their friendly staff is more than happy to help in any way possible. For any gathering, large or small, Lynn's Dakota Mart is there for you. Special orders and requests too. Smart grocery shopping takes a little TLC. Lynn's Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre. Thrifty, local, and convenient.
That coin toss is still being conducted. Remember, watch it at the KGFX page at the DRGnews.com and the DRG News app, the whole game, not just the coin toss. But we'll see who's going to have the football first, as things are still being explained, and we're told that it was Stanley County who won the toss, and they're going to have the football first tonight. Well, it may be a matter of which team can control the ball with a running game. You know what Stanley County did last week, and we'll see if they can keep it going in the first series tonight. Just about to go, but first, before we do, why don't we pause here for station identification.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, 1060 KGFX Pierre. Rebroadcasting on K276 GT 103.1 FM, Fort Pierre. Eyes on the road, not on your phone.
Quite a nice evening with temperature in the low 70s, and Stanley County will have the football first. 340 yards rushing in the homecoming victory last Friday night over the White River Tigers. That was 43-16. Important game here. Stanley County, it's not too early to talk about seed point standings. Right now, Stanley County is at number 15 in 9AA. And a win tonight against a good Timberlake team would really be a help. Gavin Farley will kick off for the Timberlake Panthers. And standing back at around their own 5 or 10 yard line are Chase Hansen and Barrett Schweitzer. We hope you enjoy the action from Timberlake as Stanley County and Timberlake meet for the second year in a row. Stanley County will move with that win from right to left in this first quarter of play. The official gives the signal to Gavin Farley, and promptly the ball blows off to tee. So there is still, as we mentioned, a little bit of wind. We told you it was 13 miles an hour on the official reading. And now Farley is having to put the ball back on the tee. Isaiah Duchesneau standing close in case he needs to hold it. For the moment, he doesn't. The official gives the signals again, and now it is booted away. And running up on it is Hansen at around his 15-yard line, left to the 20, 25, 30-yard line, and Hansen is brought down across his 30 or 32-yard line. And Stanley County, with not bad field position to get this one started on this Friday night in Timberlake in Dewey County. So Stanley County will start here from their 28-yard line, first down and 10. Zabe with stretch handoff, and it is up the middle. Colton Brady, 30-35, and Brady with another good start before Farley brought him down. But a good gain of 6 yards on first down. They'll take that all night long. And it's what was happening against White River last Friday. From their 34, Stanley County has second down and 6. Two receivers to the right. Those are Hansen, and they've sent Zabe wide. In fact, nobody in the backfield. Zabe takes it right straight ahead. 35, 36, 37 before he's pushed back. He needs the 38 for first down. Let's see what sort of forward progress he is given. Zabe is close to the 38. He's on the 38. That's a first down for Stanley County. He was pushed back immediately, but he has enough for the first down, and this is a promising start here for Stanley County. Again, you really would get the impression that ball control is going to be important for the Buffs tonight. Keep it out of this versatile offense's hand. 3 receivers to the right. 1st and 10 Stanley County from their 38. Snap back to Zabe. He looks to throw right. Screen, Hansen, caught it and then fell down immediately. Slipped on, and this is a very nice field here in Timberlake, but Hansen could not keep his footing as he tried to cut up field, and the turf monster got him. The grass monster got him, but a penalty flag's out anyway. That's going to wipe this play out. And it is back to the 30-yard line on the penalty, which is a hold. So Stanley County is back to their 30. It's going to be 1st down and 18. So the play does not count. The penalty does. 1st and 18 from their 30. And they go with up the middle. This is Zabe on a keeper. Has a few up the middle. And Zabe is brought down by Jaden Miller. And that is a gain to around the 32-yard line. Gain of 2, and that'll make it 2nd down and long. It's 2nd down and 16 for Stanley County. First quarter, no score, about 2:15 into the game. Here's a ball that is dropped by Dio on the end around, and Timberlake has the ball. Oh, boy. Thane Keller able to pick it up. It was one of those sweep plays to Dio, but he never had the ball, and it was picking it up Thane Keller, who was an excellent player on both sides of the football for Timberlake. And they have fantastic field position. Oh, boy, the last thing the Buffs needed here. They're at the 19-yard line of Stanley County, 1st and 10. Their quarterback is Hansen, handing it to Duchesneau on a sweep. Left side, he is to the 10, he is to the 5, and he's out of bounds just before he made it to the end zone. Chased down by Weston Prince. Down to about the 4-yard line. The line of scrimmage was the 11-yard line. So a big turnover gives a chance here for Timberlake. And here is a bad handoff, able to fall on it is Grayson Hansen, and he's able to fall on it for a loss. Well, we haven't gotten really a chance to mention this just yet. However, it was turnovers that really cost Timberlake last week. They had 4 turnovers against the Faith Longhorns, and it ended up really, as it turned out, costing the game. Hansen on trying to keep it around right end, but nowhere to go, as Barrett Schweitzer is there to bring him down. Line of scrimmage was the 10-yard line. And that gain of about 3 to the 7-yard line. And it's going to be 4th down and 3 from there. Throw on the left side to Hansen. It's out of the reach of Cole Duchesneau in the end zone, and Stanley County is held. Hansen had the run to the 7-yard line. The throw in the end zone for Timberlake to try to take the lead was out of the reach from Hansen to Cole Duchesneau, and Stanley County's defense has held, although they have a long, long way to go. 7:59 left in the first quarter, scoreless game. So for now, the turnover has not hurt Stanley County. They are back at around their own 14-yard line, 1st down and 10. Zabe sends Hansen in motion from right to left, and they hand it off to Brady up the middle, 20, across the 25, and down to the 27. Colton Brady has another big run. And finally, the hit was made by Grayson Hansen, and down to about the 22-yard line. And a good run there by Colton Brady, gain of about 8. Second down and 2 from their own 22 for Stanley County. No score. 7:26 first quarter. And the man in motion is a deal, but before the play begins, it's an illegal procedure call here against Stanley County to back the Buffs up 5. Full start it is against the Buffaloes, and they'll be back to their 17, and 2nd and 2 will become 2nd down and 7. 7:21 in the first quarter. Glad to have you with us. No score, an early turnover. Stanley County deep in their own end, but Timberlake not able to convert. 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. 2nd down and 7 from their 17. Zabe with a throw on the left flat. Hanson diving catch across the 30 for a first down. 13th catch of the year is a big one for Chase Hansen and gives Stanley County a first down right on the 30-yard line for a gain of 13. Well thrown ball. Zabe found a Hansen, and the good diving catch gives Stanley County their second first down from their 30. 7 minutes left first quarter, no score. Zabe under center now, Brock. And delay handoff to Brady, looks for room, and right guard, not much there. And Timberlake's defense is able to stop him there. In fact, it's for a loss of a yard. That hit was made by Jaden Miller. So 2nd down and 11 for SC from their 29-yard line. As they try to advance the ball, no score first quarter, their second possession. The first ended in a turnover. Zabe under center again. Roll right on the play action. Throw back up the middle. It's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Q Bourne. Trying to make his first catch. He juggled it a little bit. Tried to turn around, really, before he had the football in his hand. And Q couldn't hang on to it. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long. Well, if you followed Stanley County, you know the 3rd down has been a difficult down this season. They only converted 30% of them. They're 15 of 50, and they need 11 here. They need to their 40. They're at their 29. From left to right, it's 3rd down and 11. Brady alone in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right. Roll to the right and a screen back to the left. This one is caught by Barrett Schweitzer to the 40, to midfield, but here comes a flag. Schweitzer is down to his 43, but a flag came down, oh boy, as this play came to an end. So what have we here? It's might not be good for Stanley County. It might wipe out a first down game. The official signals to the opposite end from where we are, but we can see it's holding. Wiped out a first down play. Well, that's a tough one. Schweitzer had a convoy in front of him. And that is going to send this back for Stanley County to around, this is going to send it way back. They would have been at around their own 43. Instead, well, they're back at their 28, so it turns out being a 1-yard penalty, but it wiped out a first down. So 3rd and 12 for Stanley County. They'll try it again here from their 28-yard line. Caden Montana brings in a play. Paxton Deal in there too. Now Zabe, who had been to the bench, will have to break him out of the huddle relatively quickly here. 3rd and 12 SC from their 28-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. Those are Brady and Hansen, and 2 more to the left. Well, in fact, it's a 5-receiver set, and they send Brady in motion from right to left. Zabe near the end of what would be a play clock. Throw to the right, tipped by Hansen and intercepted by Cole Ducheneau. Ducheneau is brought down inside the 40-yard line. Well, an overthrown ball that Cole Ducheneau picked off. He was going for Hansen, but Ducheneau made the pick. And with 5:29 left in the first quarter, good field position again here, spotted at the 33-yard line for Timberlake at the Stanley County 33-yard line. 5:29 in the first, no score, but Oh, Stanley County now with 2 turnovers. The first one didn't end up hurting him. Let's see what happens this time. Grayson Hansen, the quarterback, sends Cole Ducheneau in motion to the left. And they hand it off to Ducheneau. Around the left end, he's to the 30, near the sideline, around the 25-yard line or so before he is brought down. Tyler Leiferman made the hit for the Buffs. But a good gain there to around the 27-yard line, gain of about 6. And it'll be 2nd down and 4. No score, first quarter. Timberlake trying to take advantage of another Stanley County turnover. They've already turned it over twice. Hansen with a sweep around the right end. This is Slater Ducheneau, who's wrapped up by Barrett Schweitzer for a loss. Excellent play by Barrett, the junior, as they saw that one coming, and Ducheneau was not allowed to turn that corner, and they lost most of the yards they gained on the previous play. In fact, that is a loss of 5 back to the Stanley County 32, and it's 3rd down and 9. Timberlake didn't convert on 3rd down nor 4th down in their first drive. Cole Ducheneau is sent in motion. Snap back to Hansen. He throws left on the screen. This one's intercepted, number 10 of the year. This one is Chase Hansen, and he comes left to his own 40-yard line. Hansen is brought down there by Jaden Miller, who was the intended receiver. Stanley County has another interception. There are 2 flags down, however, so there are things to sort out here. But if it stands, it's interception number 10 in this Stanley County's 6th game. But there are 2 flags in where the defensive secondary was. 4:10 first quarter. Well, let's see what we have here. May have been a little bit of tugging, but let's see what this is about. The official is explaining something to Max Foth. And Max says okay. I don't know if he's happy, but he says okay. We've got a hold on Timberlake. That is declined. A face mask on Stanley County at the end of the play. So the interception's going to stand to Hansen. So they will be back from their 16-yard line. 1st and 10 Stanley County from their 16-yard line. No score. What an interesting first quarter we've had. 3 turnovers already. Here is a toss left, and trying to cut is Barrett Schweitzer, and he couldn't make that cut up field because he was brought in by Gavin Farley. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. So, the face mask against Stanley County brought them all the way back to the 16-yard line. Schweitzer only gained about a yard on that pitch before Farley brought him down. And so it is 2nd down and 9 for Stanley County from their 17. Boy, that penalty cost them from some field position. Zabe with a sweep on the right side going for Hansen. He's in a wall of burgundy. And brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And again, it was Thane Keller, who is the leading tackler on this team with 43 coming in. He led the rush. Well, that sweep play, Thane Keller saw that. So loss of couple back to the 15-yard line, and Stanley County faces 3rd and long and 3rd to 11. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. An odd start to this game. No score. Stanley County's already turned it over twice. Deal is to the right, so's Hansen. Receiver to the left, 2 for Stanley County. Brock Zabe sends Deal in motion from right to left. Brock is throwing on the right flat. This one's intercepted. It is Slater Ducheneau. He is at the 30 to the 25, and inside the 20-yard line. Stanley County has now turned this ball over 3 times in the first quarter, and here comes a flag at the end of this play. Well, this first quarter has generally been a mess for both sides. But Ducheneau picked it off. And the ball was overthrown, and Slater Ducheneau with the interception. And I think there are penalties on both sides here. There was a flag that came down right at the end of the play. Another face mask on Stanley County, or a hold on Stanley County. That's declined. Well, here's a face mask. And Timberlake is called for a hold. Wow. and instead, a great field position. It's still pretty good. There's nothing wrong with it here. It's to the 38-yard line of Stanley County, 1st and 10. But the hold, the face mask, set Timberlake back. But they still are in great field position, and they hand off, and not much there. Is really falling was Jaden Miller right after he took the handoff from Hanson, and now Timberlake's going to take a timeout, and so will we, an Agtegra timeout. An odd first quarter, and Timberlake has 2:25 left in it. There's still no score between Stanley County and Timberlake. Who's going to hold on to the ball? Back in 30 seconds here on KGFX.
For reliable, safe, efficient, and economical electrical work, call Ferding Electric. Ferding Electric staffs licensed, knowledgeable electricians to help you with all your electrical projects. New construction, rewires, or upgrades, residential or commercial. Ferding Electric knows how to get the job done right. Call Ferding Electric at 224-8684. Stop in at 2903 East Elizabeth, just off the truck bypass. See Ferding.com or find them on Facebook. Ferding Electric, licensed electricians, quality service, and dependable products since 1956.
The gain was, in fact, it was not much at all. The original line of scrimmage, by the way, was the 40-yard line of Stanley County. With a 39, and Miller lost his footing and lost a yard. So Timberlake has 2nd down and 11 from their 40-yard line. And there's movement in the line. Well, Timberlake players moved, and they're the ones who are going to get caught for illegal procedure.
False start on the Panthers, moving back 5 yards. Let's go! Makes it 2nd and 16 for the Panthers.
So the illegal procedure, since Timberlake back to Stanley County's 45. They've been inside the 20. Instead, it's 2nd down and 15. Ducheneau wide to the left. Receiver wide to the right, 2. Back to throw is Hanson. Here comes some pressure. Here comes Noah Baldwin to bring him down. There is a flag down, too. Guess what? But Noah Baldwin has the sack. Back in Timberlake territory at the 45, but we have another flag about which we have to find out. And it's going to be on Timberlake, and it's going to be declined. It's a holding penalty. Yeah, you know Stanley County will take the sack there. Noah Baldwin, outstanding play to bring Hanson down back at his 45-yard line. So the play stands, and it's 3rd and forever, 3rd and 25. Slater Ducheneau trying to run around right end. He's to midfield. He's to the 40, still running. He's to the 30, pushes Prince out of the way. He is to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and he's in. How about that? After the penalty had set Timberlake back in their own territory, and then it is Slater Ducheneau to take the sweep 4-6 with 1:53 left in the first quarter. 6-0 Timberlake in about as odd a first quarter as you'll see. Well, big plays there are when Hank Kraft was here, there how Timberlake did it, but it continues to be that way, and Ducheneau now has 4 rushing touchdowns this season. They'll try the extra point with Gavin Farley. He's only tried 2 kicks for conversions, but he has hit them both. Dan Peterson with the snap. The hold is by Cole Ducheneau. It's good, and the kick is good. And Timberlake has taken the lead. 1:53 left in this strange first quarter in Dewey County. It's Timberlake 7, Stanley County nothing. Back in 30 seconds on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Competitive pay, check. A rewarding and fun environment, check. And best of all, caring for residents and being a part of an amazing team, check and check. Hi, this is Kim Brackey from Edgewood and Pierre. We are looking for more dedicated healthcare heroes to join our team. Do you know what makes working at Edgewood so great? We provide care in a fun working environment where you will experience a warm welcome from our amazing team and residents. Come work for a purpose. Give us a call at 494-3400 to learn more. Edgewood, where home and healthcare meet.
Well, if you keep turning the ball over, it's just going to catch up with you. And the third of the 3 Stanley County turnovers, the interception, did catch up with the Buffs. And it ended in the Slater Ducheneau 55-yard touchdown run. And the extra point makes it 7-0 for Timberlake with 1:53 left in the first quarter. That has been, to be kind, a little bit sloppy. Well, here come Stanley County. They'll try again, standing up to their own 10 are Chase Hansen and Barrett Schweitzer. And Gavin Farley gives the signal to put the boot into it. And up around his 16 is Chase Hansen. He is left to the 20, running out of room and down right there. Gabe Keller was over to bring him down as Hansen tried to cut left. But the stutter step cost him. Return still was about 12 yards to his 28. So Stanley County, they've had 3 possessions. They've had 3 turnovers. 1st and 10 from their 28. 7-0 Timberlake. We have 1:47 left in the first quarter. Caden Montana is wide to the right. Brady in the backfield. Zabe in the pistol. Man in motion. Handed to him up the middle. Well, it's Brady, and he is forward for a couple, but no more than a yard or so. As big fella Mason Arpin brought him down. He's 6 foot and 205. Gain of about a yard. It's 2nd down and 9, Stanley County from their 29. Down to 1:20 in the first quarter. 7-0 Timberlake and a touchdown run by Slater Ducheneau. Once again, Montana is wide to the right and 2 receivers to the left. Pistol again, Brock Zabe. Snap is low. Zabe just takes it up the middle. 30, 35. He's near the 40, and that's enough for a first down. Brock Zabe, good carry. Just with the speed right up the middle. Jaden Miller with the tackle, but Stanley County moves the sticks. That's 3 first downs in this first quarter for the Buffs, but that also equals their number of turnovers. 1st and 10 from their 40. Clock stop for a moment while the chains are moved. They're just about set. We have a minute left in the first quarter exactly. Timberlake on top by a score of 7-0. Glad to have you with us. An odd one tonight. Boy, if Stanley County had been able to hold on to the ball, well, who knows what would have happened. But they're only down a touchdown, and they're starting to move the ball. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Stanley County. Pistol again for Zabe. They were about out of time to snap the ball, so head coach Max Foth calls the first of his 3 first-half timeouts. It's an Actegra timeout. We'll take it 2. With a minute left in the first quarter, Timberlake leads Stanley County 7-0. Back to Timberlake in 30 seconds here on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
With Yesway Rewards, members buy stuff, get points, and earn smiles. Redeemable for everything from free stuff to savings on snacks, meals and beverages, and discounts on gas. Join now at yesway.com. Yesway. Say yes to convenience.
An Actegra timeout. Acres ahead can maximize your farm's earning potential straight from the start. Contact your local Actegra cooperative today. Max Foth to talk things over with his Stanley County team. A first down as they start to try to move the football. They're taking all the time they can use in this timeout before bringing the team back onto the field. From their 40, after the 11-yard keeper by Brock Zabe gave the Buffs a first down, It's 1st and 10 from their 40. 2 receivers right and 1 to the left. It is the wide side really to the right. There are no hashes. There are no numbers on this field. Here is a sweep to the right by Hansen. He is dragged down 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage by A.J. Linskov. Senior, 6 foot 245, and when he hits you, I think you know you've been hit. A loss of 5 by Hansen, and that sweep play has not worked for the Buffs yet. They'll be 2nd down and 15 from their 35. Let's see if they snap the ball before this first quarter ends. There are 15 seconds remaining. Hansen just now bringing the play into the huddle down to 9 seconds. They do not have to snap the ball if they don't wish. It's down to 4 and to 3 and to 2 and to 1, and they will not snap the ball. At the end of one quarter at Doug Kraft Field in Timberlake, the Timberlake Panthers 7, the Stanley County Buffaloes nothing. On the Wegner Auto scoreboard, Wegner Auto, the one place to go. Second quarter from Timberlake in 1 minute here on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
You know that feeling? The feeling that things couldn't get any better? It's you at your best. Being your best means owning your health. It means not only meeting your goals, but crushing them, then setting new ones. Partner with an Avera primary care provider. We are right here to help you create health goals so you can feel your best and move forward to your healthiest self. Learn more at avera.org/checkup. Avera, moving health forward.
This fall, take some time to think about your future. While the leaves make their way down to earth and the last sunset of summer leaves us with an autumn chill, it's time to grab the nearest foam finger and break out the face paint. Rush the stands with First Dakota National Bank and forget how to blink. All sports are back with jaw-dropping plays, an electric atmosphere, and epic scores. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
As the second quarter begins, Stanley County now from right to left against what wind there is. It has died down. 2nd and 15 from their 35. Zabe with the keeper up the middle. Tackle broken. He is back to the original line of scrimmage for a gain of 5. He didn't break out of the second tackle, and that was by Slater Ducheneau. The stats as they stand through one quarter: Timberlake 50 yards of offense, Stanley County 17. Of course, Stanley County with 3 turnovers in that first quarter. The third one became eventually the Slater Ducheneau touchdown. So 3rd and 10 here for Stanley County from their 40. 0 of 2 on 3rd down in this game. Shotgun for Zabe. They have trips to the right, or wing to the right, and 2 receivers wide. Zabe under some pressure. Screen up the middle for Schweitzer. Barrett caught it at his 40, 45 midfield. First down. Barrett Schweitzer is into Timberlake territory at the 45-yard line. Well, that little bubble screen set up very well. Schweitzer was brought in by Jaden Miller, and Stanley County has a first down. And now that they've been able to hang on to the ball, the offense is moving confidently again. They have 4 first downs now, but you can't set up that screen a whole lot better. Good design of the play, and they weren't looking for Schweitzer, and that's a problem some teams have had. 2 receivers to the left now for Stanley County in Timberlake territory for the first time at the 45, 1st and 10. Zabe up the middle. Good blocking for him, 45, 42, 41 before he is pushed back by Grayson Hansen and others. But Zabe again able to run up the middle. And they're finally stopping. They tell you to play between the whistles. With all the weirdo stuff in this game, you never know. But a gain of 4 for Brock Zabe. 2nd down and 6. They're at Timberlake's 41-yard line. Slater Ducheneau with a 55-yard touchdown run after a 3rd Stanley County turnover. 7-0 Timberlake. We're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here in Dewey County. They run it out of the eye this time with Zabe under center. 2nd and 6. Timberlake's 41, and a bad snap, but able to pick it up, oh dear, is Zabe. Ooh, and actually moved forward for a yard to the 40. Oh dear, this is this is getting a little bit dicey in hanging on to the ball for Stanley County. However, he is able to take it ahead for a yard to the 40-yard line of Timberlake and make it 3rd down and 5. 3rd down and manageable for Stanley County. They did convert the last time, remember. They're 1 for 3 tonight now. Deep in the backfield is Brady. Offset eye and the stretch hand off to Brady. Nothing doing around right end as Thane Keller knocked him down back at the 47-yard line. Well, that play was read all the way. Thane Keller was standing there just waiting for Colton Brady, and that is a loss back to the yard, back to the 41, and it's going to be 4th down and 6. So it'll be Ryan Deal on to punt for the 14th time this season. Slater Ducheneau stands back deep in his own territory. Let's see if Timberlake puts any pressure on here. There's only so much you can at 9-man football. No, they play for the return. Not a bad kick, and takes a turn out of bounds, and that's going to be around the 10-yard line. That's a pretty good punt by Ryan Deal. 8:44 left in the first half. We'll see where they spot this football. Stanley County trailing Timberlake by a score of 7-0. That is down to the 6. That's a 35-yard kick, and that is what you want. That's the first time that Paxton has been able to put a punt inside the 20. That's just what the Buffs needed. Now let's see if the defense can hold this good Timberlake offense, who starts 1st and 10 from their 6-yard line. Grayson Hansen is the quarterback. And under center he is. And they'll send it on the left side to Slater Ducheneau. The touchdown man tried to cut the around right side, and Barrett Schweitzer was able to grab him by the ankles for a minimal gain. Or actually, a loss of about 2. Pardon me. The angle here is just a little bit odd, and with no numbers or anything, it can be a little hard to judge it sometimes, but it is a 2-yard loss. And now Timberlake's back up to their own 4. How aggressive will Stanley County's defense be now? 2nd and 12, Timberlake from their 4-yard line. We will go up this part of the country even further north next Friday. Lemon McIntosh in Lemon for the Buffs next Friday night. 2nd down and 12 from their own 4 for Timberlake. Hansen is in the end zone and runs left and has room around the right side. He is out to the 10, to the 20, to the 30. He's to the 40. He's to midfield and still running down the left sideline to the 30. To the 20. He's out of bounds before he reached the 20-yard line. But an enormous run by Hansen from his own 4-yard line. Grayson Hansen gives Timberlake a big play. They will spot this at the 23-yard line of Stanley County. Wow. An enormous run for Hansen before he is out of bounds. That is a 73-yard run for Grayson Hansen. Was forced to the side on a good play, or he would have gone 96. As it is, 1st and 10, Timberlake at the Stanley County 23, up 7-0. About 4.5 minutes into the second quarter. Around at right end, this is Cole Ducheneau. He is to the 20, and he is down near the 15-yard line before he is out of bounds. But guess what we have, folks? We have another penalty flag. We've already had 6 penalties that have been enforced. There have been more that have been happened that were not enforced. This one is going to go against Timberlake and wiped out a good first down play. Line of scrimmage was the 23-yard line. Here's another hold, and it's going to set Timberlake back to the Stanley County 27. The hold 10 yards from where it happened upfield. So that'll make it 1st down and 14 for Timberlake at Stanley County's 27. The line they need's the 13. 7:31 first half, 7-0. It is Timberlake leading Stanley County and with the football. Snap back to Grayson Hansen. He rolls left for Keller. Now reaching out, trying to catch, and here comes another flag as being knocked down was Grayson was Farley, but he was knocked over by the Buffs' Weston Prince, and that should be pass interference, and no doubt about it. Weston knocked him over before just barely before the football got there, but he did knock him over. And this will give Timberlake a first down because they only needed 14 yards for the first down. The line of scrimmage was the 27, and this is a 15-yard mark-off. This is going to put it, or should, down at the 12-yard line, guys. Although that's not where it is.
First down, it looks like. First and 2.
They put it on the, I don't get this, they put it on the 15-yard line. So now we have an unusual, as if there hasn't been enough in this game that's been unusual. 1st and 2, Jaden Miller with the handoff. And Barrett Schweitzer made a good play to knock him down immediately. And that will send it back to the 16-yard line and make it 2nd down and 3. Well, what's the old song? Mama said there'd be days like this. A lot of odd things happening. Timberlake doesn't think it's odd that they're up 7-0. 3 Stanley County turnovers in this game. The third turned out to end up in the Timberlake points eventually. Here is a fake and Slater Ducheneau around left end as he tried to turn. He cut it to the 13-yard line and then is brought down immediately. Good pressure there by Brock Zabe as Ducheneau tried to do what he did on the touchdown and use that speed and go to the outside. That is going to be about a half yard short of the first down. 3rd down, less than a yard. They're just inside the Stanley County 14-yard line. Now 6:14 in the first half. Timberlake with the ball and trying to add to a 7-0 lead. They are from left to right, going with what wind there is. As we mentioned earlier, it has died down. Man in motion is Miller. Snap back to Hansen. Cuts around left end. Breaks the tackle. He's near the 10. He has enough for the first down. Weston Prince brought him down, but on the keeper, Hansen is able to give Timberlake just their 3rd first down in this game. And it's right on the 10-yard line. And they will, I believe, drop the sticks and say this is 1st and goal. Should be, because it's right on the 10-yard line. Yes, they do. So it is 1st and goal for Timberlake. Miller, the fullback in an I backfield, pistol formation, a roll right as the pocket moves for Hansen. Little lob to the right side. Caught, touchdown, Cole Ducheneau. In the right side of the end zone, wide open as Cole Ducheneau takes it in, and Timberlake improves their lead. Hansen had some pressure, had a really, as it turned out, really nice touch on a lob pass, and he found Ducheneau for the score to extend the Timberlake lead to 13-0. Well, what a drive. That's a 94-yard drive. But don't forget about the big 73-yard run for Grayson Hansen, and that helped it happen. Now, Gavin Farley will try the extra point. Cole Ducheneau is the holder. Dan Peterson to snap to try to make it a 14-0 Timberlake lead. Snap good, the hold good. The kick right down the middle. Let's take a break. 5:29 in the first half. Stanley County now 2 scores down to Timberlake here in Dewey County. It's Timberlake 14, Stanley County nothing. And we'll return in 30 seconds here on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre has cover crop seed for your fields. Cover crops hold soil in place, prevent the leaching of nitrogen from fields, help lower expenses by reducing the need for nitrogen fertilizers and pesticides, improve productivity by increasing the fertility and water holding capability of soil, and make soil more resilient. Sioux Nation has cane, common vetch, lentil, millet, oats, radish, rape, Sudan, and turnip seeds for use in cover crops, or they can mix your custom blend for you. Call Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre, 223-2427.
What a drive for the Timberlake Panthers. 94 yards in 6 plays, 3:15 against Hansen's 73-yard keeper, the big play in that drive. And it ended with the 10-yard touchdown pass from Hansen to Cole Ducheneau. And then Farley with the extra point makes it 14-0 for Timberlake. Slater Ducheneau with their other touchdown and a run. We have 5:29 left in the first half on what's become a very pleasant evening here in Timberlake. Well, back standing on around their 20 are Schweitzer and Hansen to await the kick of Gavin Farley. Don't forget, in our post-game, Bauman Lumber will bring you our player of the game. Farley boots it end over end. comes to Hansen at around his 19-yard line. Left of the 20, 25, right below us 30, and out of bounds near his 35-yard line as Hansen with about a 16-yard return there as Caleb Bieber was in to make the stop first on Hansen. So the Buffs are from their 35, first down and 10. Not a turnover the last time, a punt, and they thought they'd done the job to pin Timberlake back deep, and then what did they do? They went 94 yards for a touchdown drive. Stanley County first and 10 from their 35. Wing to the right, Hansen in motion from left to right, handed to Brady up the middle. Colton cuts left at the 40, he's to the 45, he's to midfield, and he's out of bounds, and then a hit out of bounds is going to bring 15 more yards. Colton Brady was 3 yards out of bounds when he was pushed by Gavin Farley. So Brady's gain is to the 47-yard line of Timberlake, and that's enough for the first down, but then the late hit is going to add 15 more yards to it. Ooh, and that'll bring it all the way down to the Stanley County, or to the Timberlake 32. Well, there's free yardage for the Buffaloes. Let's see what they can do with it. They're first and 10 at Timberlake's 32, down 14-0 with 5:14 left in the first half. Zabe with a keeper, 30 down near the 25. That's a good run for Brock again on first down. Near that 26-yard line. Gain of 6. Zabe, really, so far his best night running the ball. He has 33 yards on 7 carries. He's leading Stanley County in rushing, in fact. Second down and 4 from Timberlake's 26. 14-0 Timberlake, 4:38 left in quite a first half. Hansen in motion from left to right. Counterplay Brady off one tackle to the 25, but that's about all. Thane Keller is able to wrap him up with others there. Caleb Bieber also helped out. And what do you know? We have another flag. Yikes. And both Ryan Gimble and Max Foth are going to have some things to talk about. This is unsportsmanlike conduct against Timberlake. Oh, my goodness. That's going to give Stanley County a first down. Well, these are the sorts of... This has got to drive Ryan Kimball a little bit batty. When you make penalties like this, and that's nothing but a mental error, you say something, it is down to the 12-yard line. It's a half the distance penalty, and the handoff around right end, and nowhere to go for Barrett Schweitzer, as Schweitzer was chased down by Grayson Hansen for a loss. So it was a half the distance penalty on the unsportsmanlike conduct. They actually will give him forward progress. To the 11. They'll give him a yard on the play. And now a throw right. This one is just Schweitzer, and he's brought down right away. Grayson Hansen made a good play there.
Jaden Miller on the tackle for the Panthers. Short gain of about 1 or 2 to Schweitzer.
So the pass goes to Schweitzer, and that is going to make it to about the 9-yard line. And set up third down and 7 for Stanley County. They need the 2-yard line of Timberlake for a first down. Man in motion is Hansen. Hannon account to Brady, big room, blah left end. 2 to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, Stanley County. Colton Brady, who had 3 last week, has another tonight. His 7th touchdown of the year puts Stanley County on the board, and that counter play And Brady had all kinds of room on the left side, and with 2:41 left in the first half, Stanley County's on the scoreboard now down 14-6. And to think of where this game could be for them with the 3 first-quarter turnovers, but they really have survived that well. Now Brady will try to make it a 7-point game. Colton will try the extra point. The holder is Chase Hansen. The deep snapper is Barrett Schweitzer. 65-yard scoring drive for Stanley County as they march down, and the snap is bobbled, and Hansen trying to pitch it ahead, and it's incomplete, so the conversion does not work. We'll take a break. 2:41 left in the first half. Stanley County on the board, still trailing Timberlake by a score 14-6. We return to Timberlake in 30 seconds here on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
Flip your loan. Lower your payment with great rates from Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. This is Jody. Now is the time to refinance your vehicle or recreational vehicle with rates as low as 2.3%. Plus, no payments for 90 days and $75 cash after finalization. Come see us on North Garfield Avenue at Northridge Plaza. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Well, the drive was 65 yards and 6 plays for Stanley County in 2:48, and they'll take the points on Colton Brady's touchdown. Conversion missed, but it's 14-6. But remember, about 28 of those yards were on penalties. A personal foul penalty and then an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Timberlake helped Stanley County. So they're down a score with 2:41 left in the first half. Next Friday, we'll join you from Lemon Lions Field, as Stanley County will go there for the second straight year to take on the Lemon Macintosh Lions. Make note of the start time. It is 7:30 next Friday night here on KGFX. You can watch that game as you can this one at the KGFX page at drgnews.com and the DRG News app, brought to you by Bauman Lumber. Gavin Farley waiting for the kick. Cole Duchesneau, 2, back at around their 15 as Tyler Leiferman will boot it. The Buffs are back in this one, down 8, 14-6. Important game for SC, who's 15th in the 9AA seed point standings. Line drive kick to Cole Duchesneau at around his 12-yard line, right to the 15, 20, 25. Cuts up to the 30-yard line and to the 40 and down to about his 41. Good return by Duchesneau, and finally it was Hansen that was able to bring him down, but boy, these Duchesneaus have plenty of speed, but once again we have a flag down, and it's on Timberlake. Oh dear, Ryan Gimble is going to have some things to talk about at halftime. Even if his team has the lead, he's going to have some things to discuss. It's a hold. And it'll send them back to their 23-yard line. And they're 1st and 10 from there. Hansen cuts left now to the right on a keeper. He is along the left sideline to the 40, to the midfield, to the 40 of Stanley County, to the 30, and still running. He's to the 20, he's to the 10, and Grayson Hansen is gone. Grayson Hansen, who ran moments ago for 73, that set up the scoring drive. They're going to say he was out of bounds. They're going to say he was out of bounds. One official said touchdown, but the other official said nope, he was out of bounds, but he's out of bounds at the 8-yard line. So another huge run on the keeper for Hansen. To the 8-yard line, and that is 69 more, and that's 133 yards on 6 carries for Grayson Hansen. 1st and goal at Stanley County's 8-yard line. Hand off to Slater Duchesneau, around right, and brought down from behind. Great play, Colton Brady. Only back to the line of scrimmage. Duchesneau all of a sudden found Brady bringing him down. Very nice play by Colton and the sophomore. With another flag down. My goodness, it's a hold on Timberlake. And you know that Stanley County will accept this. We're down to 1:58 left in the first half. because the gain was back to the line of scrimmage. So this will mark them back to outside the 20-yard line. The penalty numbers now for Timberlake, 7 of them in this first half for 76 yards. 1st and 12 for Timberlake. They're at Stanley County's 20. 14-6 Timberlake in front. 151 in a most unusual but interesting first half. Slater Ducheneau is wide to the right. Cole Ducheneau to the left. Now we're ready to go again. And Grayson Hansen sets him. Slater Ducheneau in motion from his right to his left. Hansen with a roll left. He's just going to keep it, but 2 buffs are waiting for him. The first is Blaze Frost. Frost would not let him turn that corner, and the loss is of a couple back to the 22. And when the big plays haven't happened, it's been a swarming Buffalo defense. 126 and a half. 2 timeouts left for Timberlake. They're 2nd down and goal, but they're at the 22-yard line of Stanley County. Pistol formation again for Grayson Hansen. Wing to the right. Handed off to Slater Ducheneau. Around right end. Breaks a Schweitzer tackle. 25, 20, but Noah Baldwin brings him down just after he crosses the 19-yard line. Well, they're staying with Slater Ducheneau. They certainly did after the first run he had. That's a gain of 3, but now 3rd down and long. We can say on 3rd and goal, but it's from the Stanley County 19. 52 seconds. Boy, you wonder when Ryan Gimble of Timberlake may burn a timeout. He hasn't yet. He still has a couple. Clock runs. 44 seconds. 43. 14-6 Timberlake in front. 3rd and goal to Stanley County 19 for Timberlake. Hansen back to throw. Backed up to his 26. No one is open. Now he throws on the left side. It's incomplete. Went on a hop to Miller. That was the last check down. And he kind of sidearmed it and threw it on a hop to Miller. With 27 seconds to go in the first half. And the Stanley County defense has done the job again for the moment. They got to do it one more play on 4th and goal from just outside the Stanley County 19 for Timberlake. So Cash Richardson, who's made some good plays on defense, he'll come in and play the nose here. 4th and goal outside the 19 for Timberlake with 35 seconds left in the first half as they adjusted that. And they're going to try to kick here. Well, Gavin Farley has not tried a field goal yet. He is setting up on the 26. This is a 36-yard attempt. Cole Ducheneau is the holder. A little bit of a hesitation. That one is going to come up several yards short. In fact, Hansen has a chance to return it from his 7-yard line. He's left to the 10, to the 15, and he's across the 20 and down and around the 22-yard line. Well, Farley just didn't get a whole lot on that kick. And Hansen was able to return it down to their 22-yard line with 22 seconds left in the first half. You don't see missed field goals returned very often, not in this country anyway. In the league I like to watch, the Canadian Football League, it happens all the time. But anyway, 22 seconds left in the half. Stay tuned for our halftime show. We'll have stats, scores, and more. Hand off to Brady up the middle. 25, he nearly broke it and then dropped the football. Timberlake may have this, unless they're going to say he's down. I think that's what they're going to say, yes. Ooh. Jaden Miller made the tackle, thought he had the football. What a break that would have been for Timberlake. Instead, that'll end the first half on another 5-yard run by Colton Brady. Well, Stanley County has survived 3 first-quarter turnovers, and they remain in this game. It is Timberlake leading at the end of a quite strange but entertaining first half. Here at Doug Kraft Field in Timberlake on our halftime score on the Wagner Auto scoreboard. The Timberlake Panthers 14, the Stanley County Buffaloes 6. It's the Wagner Auto scoreboard. Wagner Auto is South Dakota's oldest auto dealer. They've been in Pierre since 1908. A 3-minute break, and then we'll see if we can encapsulate this first half with any sort of clarity. It was a strange one. We'll look at other scores, too, and stats. Back in 3 minutes with halftime from Timberlake. This is high school football, the KGFX page at drgnews.com and the DRG News app and on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Now you can book flights from Pierre Regional Airport through United.com and American Airlines. If traveling to Denver, schedule your flight at DenverAirConnection.com. Plus, the morning flight is at 8:20, allowing you to connect to the majority of continued flights. Avoid the crowds, enjoy free parking, and no driving when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 50 passenger jets and a 1-hour direct flight to Denver. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Access Health Fort Pierre welcomes new and established patients, offering chronic and acute care for all ages, including evaluations for illness and injuries, immunizations, lab testing, wellness exams, and DOT and sports visits. Same-day appointments are available, and most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health Fort Pierre, assuring access to quality health care.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates, at your service, at your side, with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
For reliable, safe, efficient, and economical electrical work, call Ferding Electric. Ferding Electric staffs licensed, knowledgeable electricians to help you with all your electrical projects. New construction, rewires, or upgrades, residential or commercial, Ferding Electric knows how to get the job done right. Call Ferding Electric at 224-8684. Stop in at 2903 East Elizabeth, just off the truck bypass. See Ferding.com or find them on Facebook. Ferding Electric, licensed electricians, quality service, and dependable products since 1956.
Competitive pay, check. A rewarding and fun environment, check. And best of all, caring for residents and being a part of an amazing team, check and check. Hi, this is Kim Brackey from Edgewood and Pierre. We are looking for more dedicated healthcare heroes to join our team. Do you know what makes working at Edgewood so great? We provide care in a fun working environment where you will experience a warm welcome from our amazing team and residents. Come work for a purpose. Give us a call at 494-3400 to learn more. Edgewood, where home and healthcare meet.
Well, just be charitable and say it wasn't the neatest first half of football we've ever seen, but Stanley County, despite 3 early turnovers, is still in it. Timberlake does have a 14-6 lead. I'm David Burrow. Thank you for joining us. Chuck Hansen, Kevin Larson handling things as our studio coordinators back home in Pierre. We're glad to have you with us here on KGFX. All right, I'll see if I can encapsulate this first half in anything that makes any sense in just a bit. But we do have to pause first for station identification.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, 1060 KGFX Pierre. Rebroadcasting on K276 GT 103.1 FM Fort Pierre. Put the phone down, focus on driving.
Stanley County's first possession ended in a lost fumble by Paxton Deal, but Timberlake, and they were starting at the Stanley County 11, couldn't take advantage. A 4-play and out drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't make it. But then Brock Zabe threw an interception on the Buffs' second possession. Again, Timberlake could not take advantage as Grayson Hansen threw an interception that was intercepted by Chase Hansen, the 10th interception by Stanley County this year. But then 3 plays later, Zabe with another interception. This one was by Slater Duchesneau. Jaden Miller, by the way, had the first for Timberlake, and this one ended up in points for Timberlake. Despite a penalty, and Timberlake had their share, and a sack by Noah Baldwin, Slater Duchesneau then had a 55-yard sweep for a touchdown. With a minute 53 left in the first quarter, it was 7-0 Timberlake after the extra point. Stanley County's next possession came into the second quarter, couple of first downs, but they punted, and then Timberlake came back. In fact, the punt brought Timberlake back to their own 6. After a good play by Barrett Schweitzer, they were back to the 4 when Grayson Hansen ran for 73 yards to Stanley County's 23-yard line. After what? More penalties? You're kidding. Then 4 plays later, a 10-yard touchdown pass from Grayson Hansen to Cole Ducheneau, and the extra point made it a 14-0 Timberlake lead. But then back came Stanley County. They were helped by, what do you know, penalties by Timberlake. Personal foul and unsportsmanlike conduct with a lot of the drive, but it ended with a Colton Brady touchdown after his 3 last week. Another one tonight from 9 yards. Bit of a bad snap on the conversion try, and it didn't work. Stanley County down 14-6 with 2:41 left in the first half. Timberlake, their next time, went for a field goal, 36-yard attempt by Gavin Farley. Short Chase Hansen able to return it a bit, and then one Colton Brady run. That ended the half, and it ends with a 14-6 Timberlake lead. For Timberlake, a big yardage advantage. Fairly big, 206 to 83, 196 yards rushing in that first half for Timberlake. Although Stanley County had 3 more first downs, just more of the unusual nature of this game, 7-4. 53 yards rushing for SC, 30 passing, 196 rushing for Timberlake, and 10 passing. But the penalties. Timberlake is leading despite having 7 penalties for 84 yards in the first half. Stanley County flagged 5 times for 41 yards. SC 2 of 5 on third down. So was Timberlake, and Timberlake 0 for 1 on fourth down. Stanley County 1-1 in the red zone. Timberlake only 1 of 3. Their lead could be a lot bigger than it is. But Grayson Hansen has helped them along with the 2 big runs. Remember, he had a 69-yard run in that possession before the missed field goal, and he has 131 yards on 7 carries. Slater Ducheneau 6 for 60, leading Timberlake. Colton Brady 46 yards and the touchdown, 9 carries for Stanley County. And Brock Zabe with his best game running the ball so far, 8 carries, 34 yards. Zabe 3 of 6 passing, 30 yards, but picked off twice. Schweitzer 2 catches, Hansen 1. For Grayson Hansen for Timberlake, 1 for 4 for 10 yards. That was the touchdown to Cole Ducheneau, but he also has been picked off once in this slightly unusual first half. But Timberlake does have the 14-6 lead over Stanley County. What will the second half bring? Well, we know Timberlake will receive the second half kickoff. That's one thing we do know. So Stanley County is going to have an important time on defense right at the start of the second half of this game. Let's look at other football tonight while we have a few moments. And the Pierre Governors in some trouble. Well, they figured they might. Remember, they're playing in 11 AAA, this team, this week. It's on the road in Brandon against the Brandon Valley Lynx, and at halftime, it's Brandon Valley on top by a score of 28-14. And it is, with that game, of course, Brian Oakland on the official voice of the Pierre Governors, River 92-7. But the Governors trailing at the half to Brandon Valley. Chamberlain is hosting Vermilion tonight. That game in Chamberlain, that's a 94.5, 100.5 KPLO with Darren Boyle. Miller Highmore Herald having all kinds of trouble, as you figured they might, at a very good Elk Point Jefferson team, 35-0 Elk Point Jefferson midway through the second quarter. Mobridge Pollock, if they don't win tonight, they probably don't make the playoffs again. They won their first 3, lost their last 3, and in Wessington Springs, they're trailing Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central, 12-6 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. Lyman, off their loss to Wall, running over Bennett County, 48-0. They've just gotten underway with the third quarter. That'll be a quick second half. Faulkton area leading North Central and Eureka 32-0 with 9 minutes to go in the first half of that game. Oh, just looking here, Bonham's got it going again, 56-0 in Tyndall. They're leading Chester area and trying to make that a one-half game late second quarter. Potter County off a win last week, and they need another one. Leading Leola Frederick area in Gettysburg, 6-0, just under a minute left in the first half. Dave Williams has that game, 100.7 KMLO. Hey, it's looking like Kimball White Lake might be on their way to their first win because they're leading Del Rapids St. Mary at the half, 36-14. Platte Geddes looking good so far tonight, leading at Wolsey Wessington 20-6, and that's with 7 minutes to go in the first half of that game. And that's what's going on in 9-man football. Also, Harriet Selby area, no problem at home with Northwestern. They're playing in Harriet tonight, 28-0 Harriet Selby area. They are through one quarter. That Wolverine team looks awfully good and looking towards being 6-0. Phillip at home tonight against Kadoka area in what should be a good one. Sunshine Bible Academy trailing at Colombe at halftime by a score of 12-0. Jones County, this would be a useful win as they try to go to 3-4, and they're leading at home in Murdo over New Underwood 22-12 with just under a minute to play in the second half. That's what's going on in high school football tonight. Twins will be back here on KGFX tomorrow from Detroit. They're starting their final road trip of the season against the Tigers at Comerica Park tonight. But tomorrow it's a 4:30 airtime for the Twins and Tigers. And then make note of this on Sunday. They've adjusted the game time because the Lions are also playing at home on Sunday. Comerica Park and Ford Field are right down the street from one another. So try to avoid a really big mess. Tigers have moved up the start of their game an hour. So Inside Twins starts things for the Twins and Tigers 10 a.m. on Sunday right here on KGFX. But, of course, it's an even earlier start than that on Sunday morning for the Minnesota Vikings because they are in London trying to go 3-0 against the New Orleans Saints team that won their opener but has struggled since losing their last two. Will Dalvin Cook play? He did practice yesterday, but it's still iffy whether or not he will play. Vikings and Saints Sunday morning at 7:30, and that's on 94.5, 100.5 KPLO, and 100.7 KMLO. An interesting second half, I think, awaits us tonight here in Timberlake at Doug Kraft Field. Second half starts shortly with the Timberlake Panthers leading the Stanley County Buffaloes by a score of 14-6. Another 3-minute break, and then we'll come back with the second half from Dewey County. High school football on the KGFX page at drgnews.com and at the DRG News app and on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
Yesway customers can now experience fun at a whole new level with Allsup's brand products like hearty and delicious world-famous Allsup's burritos and Allsup's chimneys. Allsup's brand products now available at Yesway. Yesway. Say yes to convenience.
Your cancer care should be as unique as you are. At Avera Breast Center, our team of experts create a treatment plan that will work best for your type of cancer, using the latest screening, radiation, and surgical techniques. You also have access to holistic approaches to help with side effects, and a 24/7 call center for answers to your cancer questions when you need them. Learn more at avera.org/breast or by calling 855-697-2592.
This fall, take some time to think about your future while the leaves make their way down to earth and the last sunset of summer leaves us with an autumn chill. It's time to grab the nearest foam finger and break up a face paint. Rush the stands with First Dakota National Bank and forget how to blink. Fall sports are back with jaw-dropping plays, an electric atmosphere, and epic scores. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
With the opportunity of current winter wheat prices, see the team at Sioux Nation Seed Warehouse in Fort Pierre for these varieties of certified winter wheat seed. AP Claire, Cy Wolverine, Cy Monument, AP18AX, Winter, WB Grandfield, Cy 517CL2, and Crescent AX. Certified seed will maximize your yields next harvest. Sioux Nation seed specialists recommend winter wheat varieties with proven potential for our area. At Sioux Nation, they can help you with all of your seed needs. Call 223-2427 today.
Flip your loan, lower your payment with great rates from Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. This is Jody. Now is the time to refinance your vehicle or recreational vehicle with rates as low as 2.3%. Plus, no payments for 90 days and $75 cash after finalization. Come see us on North Garfield Avenue at Northridge Plaza. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Now you can book flights from Pierre Regional Airport through United.com and American Airlines. If traveling to Denver, schedule your flight at DenverAirConnection.com. Plus, the morning flight is at 8:20, allowing you to connect to the majority of continued flights. Avoid the crowds, enjoy free parking, and no driving when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 50 passenger jets and a 1-hour direct flight to Denver. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Second half in Timberlake at Doug Kraft Field. Timberlake 14, Stanley County 6. David Burrow back with you. Thanks for being with us. Stay right here for what should be, as we say, a most interesting second half, we think. Remember that Timberlake will receive the second half kickoff since Stanley County did to begin the game. So Tyler Leiferman will take care of it. Yeah, big defensive series coming up here for Stanley County. Trying to slow down this Timberlake team and not have the big plays. Grayson Hansen has had 2 of them in this first half. Gavin Farley, Cole Duchesneau are ready to take the kick of Leiferman, standing back at around their 15-yard line. Stanley County, and remember, you can watch it at the KGFX page brought to you by Bauman Lumber. They'll move from right to left in this third quarter. They're in white. Timberlake is in burgundy. A signal was given to Leiferman. Second half kickoff brought to you by Lynn's Dakota Mart in Fort Pierre. And Farley is backed up to around his 11-yard line. Cuts left to the 15-yard line and brought down by Hansen after a pretty good return.
He returned it to about the 23-yard line.
And he is out to around the 23-yard line
Panthers will take over
of Timberlake. So that's where the first drive of this second half will begin. And again, where Timberlake has tried to drive it on short play. Stanley County's defense has done the job, but Grayson Hansen, with really good speed, has come up with a couple of big plays. 1st and 10 Timberlake from their 23, and a handoff up the middle. This is Miller. He's across the 25 and nearly broke through into the secondary before Noah Baldwin was able to wrap him up.
Makes it 2nd and 4 for the Panthers.
But it's all the way out to about the 29-yard line. It's 2nd down and 4. So there's a better job by Timberlake on a first down play. 2nd and 4 from their 29. Snap it back to Hansen, and a hole up the middle for Miller again across the 30 and down to the 35-yard line or so, and that will be enough for a first down. Look at the 40-yard line. And it'll be first down for the Timberlake Panthers. They're 5th of the game against Stanley County. And another one of the odd things that have happened actually has more first downs. 1st and 10 Timberlake from their 40. Well, 3 turnovers has something to do with that. Here's a reverse, and it comes to Thane Keller on the right end, but here's a flag as Schweitzer upends him. He couldn't turn that corner, gained only a yard, but here comes another flag. There were 7 called penalties, as we mentioned, on Timberlake in the first half and 5 on Stanley County. And here's another one on Timberlake for another hold. Certainly will be taken here by Stanley County, whose defense, aside from those big plays, has buckled down.
So it should be 1st and 20 for the Panthers on the 31-yard line.
Ball back to the 31. And that's going to make it first down at about 19 here for Timberlake. They need midfield for the first down. Low snap, Hansen able to take it, and a keeper a late pitch, and the ball is dropped, but dropped out of bounds by Miller as he was hit by Brady. Jaden Miller dropped it, but it went out of bounds. So Timberlake, and 4 fumbles last week again. 2 of them, well, one led to the tying score for Faith in the second quarter. The other led to the go-ahead score in the third quarter. And they're back to around their 24-yard line. 2nd down and around 26. Around left end, this is Cole Duchesneau. Cups upfield. And Frost is able to bring him down. That's near the 30-yard line, but still a lot to go. Down to about the 30-yard line, so a 3rd down, but still a lot of Dewey County turf to go here. 3rd and 20 for Timberlake, who went 2 of 5 on 3rd down in the first half. 14-6 Timberlake, 2.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. Hansen calls the signals. Double wing to the right. Rolls to the right. Baldwin is chasing him. Throw near the right sideline. It's a jump ball, and it's another interception. It's Paxton Deal. It was intended for Farley, but it's the second interception of the game and the 11th of the season down inside Timberlake territory. Stanley County has another pick, and that's number 5 for Paxton Deal this season. And Timberlake will set up Stanley County will set up in Timberlake territory at the 47-yard line. So the interception and Stanley County will start at the Timberlake 47-yard line. Hansen, the man in motion on first down. They go with the pistol for Zabe with 3 receivers to the left. Snap back to Brock and a pitch to the left of Brady. 45-yard line. Puts his head down and is down near the 41. Oh, Brady. He knew Gavin Farley was coming right there. And he just said, come on and come at me. And he said, I'm going to hit you as much as you hit me. So Deal with the interception. And sets up the run by Brady. Gain of 6 to the 41-yard line of Timberlake. Second down and about 4. Up the middle is Zabe with a keeper. He's near the 35. That'll be enough for a first down. So the first down gain there by Zabe after
First and 10 for Stanley County on the Panthers' 37-yard
Brady had the run. They'll give him 4 up to the 37, which is just what Zabe needed. But again, Brock having a good game running the football. Best one he's had so far, 38 yards now and 9 carries. First and 10, Stanley County. 8:40 left in the third. It's Timberlake leading 14-6, so Stanley County only 1 score down. Caden Montana wide to the right. Hansen and Deal are to the left, and it's a keeper up the middle for Zabe. 35, Brock dropped it, and it is loose at around the 35. Stanley County may have fallen on it, however. Zabe had the ball jarred out of his hands, but it is a Buffalo, and it's Barrett Schweitzer who fell on it, man, at the 35-yard line. Zabe took a hard hit. But Schweitzer is able to land on it at the 35-yard line of Timberlake, and they ended up gaining a couple of yards out of the play. Both teams having problems hanging on to the ball tonight, but Stanley County now with 2nd and 8 at the Timberlake 35. Wing to the right is Hansen. A stretch, they fake the handoff, play fake. Under some pressure, the throw is intercepted on the right side. Another flag is down as Grayson Hansen made a nice diving interception. Zabe is picked off again. This would be the 3rd if the play stands. Well, the flag came down near the end of the play. Looks like it will stand. Nice play by Grayson Hansen to make the pick on Zabe's 3rd interception of the game. Overthrown a little bit. And it's an eligible man downfield on Stanley County, and that is going to be declined. So it is intercepted on a nice play by Grayson Hansen.
3rd and 8 for the Buffaloes. The Panthers.
And Stanley County, I beg your pardon, still has the football. Why do they still have the football here? They're going to say it was incomplete. They're going to say it was incomplete. Well, what a break that is. Boy, oh boy. Penalty is declined. Why did Timberlake decline that? Anyway, it's 3rd down and 8 for Stanley County. My beg your pardon. Didn't get a clear signal on that. Still Stanley County football. 3rd and 8, Timberlake 35. Zabe is back to throw. Throws to the right. Hansen's open and makes the catch. Inside the 20 and knocked down there by Jaden Miller. First down, Stanley County, as Zabe finds Hansen. So it is not an interception. But guess what? We have another flag. Are you kidding me? Ooh. Another yellow flag, and there have been a bunch, and this one is a false start on Stanley County to wipe out a first down gain. Ooh, brother. They would have been inside the Timberlake 20. Instead, they're going to be set back. Has to be to around the 40. Yes, it is, because the line of scrimmage was the 35 of Timberlake. Ouch for Stanley County. Well, they still have a chance on 3rd down and 13 now from the Timberlake 40. That would have been a first down play, and Hansen was wide open in the right flat. And Hansen will line up that way again to the right side. That's the wide side with Paxton Deal, Barrett Schweitzer, and Caden Montana to the left for Brock Zabe. On 3rd and 13 at the Timberlake 40. Hansen in motion. Chase goes to the left now, so that makes it trips to the left, and Zabe looks that way. He looks to Montana, and the catch is made for a first down. Before Farley made the hit, but it is a first down and a good reception there. The sophomore, Caden Montana. We're past that. I'm reading the wrong marker. Again, I beg your pardon. My apologies. The angle, again, is just a little bit strange. It is not a first down, but it is 4th down and 6. We're around the 32-yard line of Timberlake, and of course Stanley County is going to go for it here. Zabe with a throw. Left, it's behind Deal and incomplete. Well, he had beaten Farley, but the pass was behind them both. Oh, what a chance there missed for Stanley County. And it'll be Timberlake with a football back with 6:55 left, 3rd quarter from their 32 as they hang on to a 14-6 lead. Ooh, dear, now a penalty hurt Stanley County. They got a first down play wiped out by a penalty and then couldn't convert on 4th down. And Timberlake from their 32's 1st and 10. Grayson Hansen has Cole Ducheneau to the right and Slater Ducheneau to the left. Low snap up the middle. Here goes Grayson Hansen again. 40, midfield, tackle broken. 40 of Stanley County, and finally down near the 38 by Paxton Deal. And Grayson Hansen again with breakaway speed right up the middle. They'll spot him at the 39-yard line of Stanley County for 29 more yards, and he's up to 160. Grayson Hansen is on only 8 carries. 1st and 10 Timberlake at the Stanley County 39, up 14-6, 6:39 left in the 3rd. Fumble off the snap, and Timberlake was able to fall on it alertly. Jaden Miller saw the ball rolling and landed on it at the 39. Good grief. Mistakes everywhere. That one does not hurt Timberlake. Lost about a half yard. Statistically no gain. 2nd down and 10 Timberlake. Stanley County 39. Wide sides to the left. That way is Slater Ducheneau. Cole Ducheneau is to the right. And it is Hansen. Why not use him? Around right end. Got hit right after he crossed the line of scrimmage. But I think a face mask was grabbed. Here comes another flag. Schweitzer made the tackle, and Nathaniel Nelson is saying, what in the world did I do? And the official said, you grabbed him by the face mask, and that was right in front of us. We could see it, and I think he did. Yep.
Actually, it might have just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Hansen made it back to the 39, but I think this penalty, now it could be 5 or 15. There still is that delineation in high school football. At no other level is there a face mask. It's automatically 15 at the other levels, and the officials are going to talk this over here. Nathaniel Nelson, yeah, he reached out, and it's just a matter of whether they're saying it was deliberate or not. And all of the officials are discussing that right now. It's going to be a face mask, that we know.
Face mask against Stanley County.
And it's going to be walked off 5 yards. So that is probably the right call, too, because Schweitzer was just reaching out. So I'll make a 3rd down and 5 for Timberlake at Stanley County's, or 2nd down, I should say, at the, believe it's 3rd down. And here is a fumble in the backfield. And able to fall on that is Slater Ducheneau, but he is fallen upon. So the fumble. But Timberlake is able to recover, and they're back at their 40. Third down, back to throw is Hansen. Ball deflected. Another interception! It is once again Paxton Deal. A ball that was deflected to the line of scrimmage. Paxton Deal made the pick. The third interception of the game for Stanley County. It is the second for Deal, who now has 6 this season. And with 5:13 left in the third quarter, Stanley County has it back. And they're at their own 38, first down and 10. How about the freshman, Paxton Deal? From their 38, they're 1st and 10, and they try to go up the middle, and there is just nothing doing at all for Brady as A.J. Linskov met him right away. That is a loss of a yard back to the 37, but Linskov made him know he hit him. Brady, after his big week last week, he has 51 yards now tonight on 11 carries. 2nd and 11, Stanley County. The Buffs are at their 37. 4:35 in the third. Timberlake leads 14-6. Roll right by Zabe. Screen caught by Schweitzer. 44-yard line is where Barrett goes down. As Jaden Miller was in on that play. The gain is to the Stanley County 44-yard line for 7. 3rd down and 3, something SC can manage. Again, not the best on 3rd down tonight. They're 2 for 6, but only 3 yards needed here, and they've got to think 2 plays. It's a one-score game, remember. 4 minutes left in the third. Timberlake 14, Stanley County 6. SC trying to improve to 3-3. Remember, they're 15th in the seed point standings. Max Foth, the Stanley County head coach, is going to take a timeout, and so will we with an Agtegra timeout. Now at 3:51 in the third quarter. Timberlake 14, Stanley County 6. Big 3rd down for the Buffs coming up in 30 seconds here on KGFX.
Access Health Fort Pierre welcomes new and established patients, offering chronic and acute care for all ages, including evaluations for illness and injuries, immunizations, lab testing, wellness exams, and DOT and sports visits. Same-day appointments are available, and most major insurances are accepted. Good luck this season, athletes, from Access Health Fort Pierre, assuring access to quality health care.
It'll be 3rd down and 4 for Stanley County from right to left, and they're 44. Remember, watch it at the KGFX page at drgnews.com and the DRG News app brought to you by Bauman Lumber. One of the big plays of the game coming up right here, or maybe 2. As you know, Stanley County is thinking 2 downs to make 4 yards here to try to keep this drive going. After the interception, the 3rd of the night. In fact, each team has had some interceptions. Stanley County's had 2 and Timberlake's had 3. There have been 6 turnovers in this game, 3 each way. 3rd and 4, Stanley County from their 44. Alone in the backfield is Zabe in the pistol. And 3 receivers to the left, low snap. Zabe is able to take it, roll left, break away from pressure. Hansen open and caught it at the Timberlake 35-yard line and then knocked down right there. This one's going to count, no flags on the field. This big 3rd down play counts to Chase Hansen. Brought in by Gavin Farley, in fact, spotted at the 33.
1st and 10 for the Buffaloes at the Panthers' 34-yard line.
And that is a big gain. That is 23 yards. 1st and 10. Stanley County, Timberlake 33, down 8. Later stages, 3rd quarter, the snap goes behind Zabe as a flag is down, and then Farley wraps him up back at around the Timberlake 47, but a flag came down as the ball was snapped. Now let's see what we have here. The snap to the left of Brock Zabe. He was able to come back and pick it up before Farley brought him down. And an illegal formation against Stanley County, but obviously Timberlake is going to decline that. The ball is back at the 46-yard line of Timberlake. And that's going to make it 2nd down and 23. 3:14 third quarter. Stanley County down 8 and trying to get out of their own way. 3 receivers to the right. Zabe, here comes some pressure. Back against the green, caught by Schweitzer. Barrett down the left side. He is across the 40, down near the 35-yard line or so. Not too far from that first down, but are you going to believe this? We have another flag down. And quite frankly, the sloppiest game you've seen in a while, and it's an illegal man downfield against Stanley County. Well, they had one of these declined earlier, but this one is going to be called and wiped out. A big, big gain. Ineligible man downfield. Oh, boy. And Max Foth is not pleased. But a big gain's going to be wiped out. That was inside the 35. Instead, the line of scrimmage was the Timberlake 46. But now Stanley County is going to have to line up in their own territory as soon as the officials get things straight. They have been far too busy for their own liking tonight. This is going to be the 8th called penalty on Stanley County. There have also been 8 called penalties on Timberlake, but not many, but several more have been declined. This is a 5-yard mark-off. Should be 5. It's only 4. But anyway, it's back to midfield. Anyway, that'll make it still 2nd down, but 2nd and even longer for SC. That's 2nd down and 27, right on the midfield stripe in between the Burgundy T&L here at Doug Kraft Field, which is in great shape. 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. Passing situation you would imagine for SC. Schweitzer in motion from left to right. Snap back to Zabe, some pressure. It is handled long down the right side, but too long for Hansen inside the 20-yard line of Timberlake and incomplete. There was some pressure, so maybe he threw it a little bit sooner than he wanted. But now it'll be 3rd down and 27 for Stanley County from midfield. Clock at 2:37, third quarter. This game remaining in the balance. Timberlake is on top 14-6. Slater Ducheneau has a touchdown run for Timberlake. Grayson Hansen, his only completion of the night, a touchdown pass to Cole Ducheneau. Colton Brady has a touchdown run for Stanley County. SC 3 of 7 on 3rd down, but they need 27 here. 3rd and 27 at midfield. Single setback, 3 receivers to the right, pitch left to Colton Brady, and only a forward to about 3 to the 47. He survived one hit, but not the hit of Bieber. At the 47-yard line, Colton Bieber making the stop for Timberlake, and he is held to about 3 yards. And, another chance missed there. And instead of having a big gainer now, it's punt formation for Paxton Deal, and he kicks it straight left out of bounds. And it'll be inside the 30, but let's see where they spot this. It isn't, he had a little too much on the angle. I mean, he kicked it straight left off his foot with 1:59 left in the third quarter. And this will be Timberlake's football with it back, holding on to a 14-6 lead. It is out of bounds at the 24-yard line of Timberlake, a 26 or 23-yard punt. So Timberlake, now let's see if they can hang on to the ball. 1st and 10 from their 24. Snap is to Brady, or to Hansen. He's up the middle, but here comes a flag as Hansen runs across the 35 and down near the 37 for what would be a first down, but no, it isn't, because it's another holding call on Timberlake. Their 9th penalty of the game is going to wipe out a first down run. And, yeah, young teams, fairly much so, but, boy, you just wouldn't expect this many mistakes, but it's happening that way.
Makes it 1st and 16 for the Panthers.
Back to the 18, so it is now 1st and 16 for Timberlake. Well, remember, Hansen, with his speed, has been able to put them out of these holes before tonight. Receiver to the right. Snap it to Hansen. He'll try to put it in the air. No, nobody open, so he runs up the middle. That's a good idea. 20, spins out of a tackle near the 25-yard line. Brock Zabe is able to stop him, but Hansen nearly broke another one open. Gain of 7 to his 25-yard line, and that'll make it 2nd down and 9. So Timberlake now with 1:10 left in the third and the clock running, hanging on by a thread to a 14-6 lead in an unusual game. And movement in the line, it looked like they didn't call anything, believe it or not. Slater Ducheneau with a run around right end and nothing doing because he's wrapped up on a good play by Blaze Frost. It looked like Lyman moved early there for Timberlake, but this time no flag was thrown. It's back to the 20-yard line. That's a loss of 5 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 14 for Timberlake. They're only 2 of 7 on 3rd down. Can Stanley County get them off the field here? 28 seconds left in the third quarter. Timberlake up 14-6. 2 receivers right, 1 to left, wide side to left. Slater Ducheneau in motion from left to right. Grayson Hansen takes the snap, throws right flat, intercepted again. Chase Hansen left sideline, inside the 30-yard line and down near the 25. It is interception number 4, but guess what? There are flags at the end of the play. But, again, stepping in front of the route was Chase Hansen. Stanley County, this is going to be interception number 13. They're going to have the football here in great field position. Maybe not as great as they thought because there was, I think, a block in the back at the end of this play. There is. But still, Chase Hansen intercepts Grayson Hansen. And this will be at the 25-yard line of Timberlake. So Stanley County, big shot here. 1st and 10. Timberlake's 25-yard line. Around the right guard, Zabe keeping it for about 4 up the middle as Jaden Miller is able to make the stop. So another interception, this one by Hansen, and that ends the third quarter of play. Stanley County with a big chance as the fourth quarter begins. They're in Timberlake territory, trailing on the Wagner Auto scoreboard 14-6. Wagner Auto, the one place to go. Back with the fourth quarter from Timberlake in 1 minute. What a game on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Each South Dakota farmer operates differently, and that means that ag insurance should be as unique as every farmer in the field. Fisher Rounds & Associates gets to know you and your operation before we find a policy. That way, we can make sure you have the coverage you need. Contact Fisher Rounds & Associates and see what it means to have us at your service and at your side. Fisher Rounds & Associates, serving South Dakota farmers with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
What an opportunity for Stanley County. They're down 14-6, and after the fourth interception of the game for the Buffs, and a first down run by Brock Zabe, it is 2nd down and 6-4 Stanley County at the Timberlake 21. Now from left to right. Watch it at the KGFX page, brought to you by Bauman Lumber. Zabe on a play fake. Runs up the middle. Here's another flag down at the end of the play, but a good gain by Zabe. Let's see what the flag is. Miller in on the play. This one might be against Timberlake. No, it's against Stanley County. My goodness, for a hold to wipe out a play that was at least close to a first down. That will be the 10th charged penalty on Stanley County for 69 yards. Timberlake has 9 for 99. Second down, 10. They're at the original line of scrimmage, the Timberlake 25. Just 10 seconds gone in the fourth quarter. Stanley County with a huge, huge opportunity here, down 14-6 after the interception. They're at the Timberlake 25. Receiver left, to right. Hanson in motion, the snap behind Zabe, but a flag is down. That might be, it's a penalty. Oh, it's on Timberlake. So the break is double because that would have been a big loss, but the whistle blew because it was an infraction into the neutral zone by Timberlake. 5 free yards here for Stanley County at the Timberlake 20. That ball was behind Zabe, but the whistle blew and stopped the play. So it is second down and 5. 10 penalties, 104 yards now for Timberlake tonight. Stanley County down 8. Start of the fourth quarter. About a minute gone. Second and 5 at Timberlake's 20. Hanson in motion again. Handed to Brady. Up the middle. Wrapped up. Only gained a yard or two. Gained up right after he was handed the football. Jaden Miller made a good play. Held him to a yard. And another ginormous, is that a word? Third down play for Stanley County. 3rd and 4, the Timberlake 19. Buffs are 3 for 8. Down 8, 14-6. Again, big game for Stanley County. 2 and 3, 15th in the seed point standings before they go to Lemon McIntosh next Friday. 2 receivers right. And 2 to the left. 3rd and 4, Stanley County, Timberlake's 19. Zabe up the middle. Tackle broken. Near that 15. Looks like he has it before he's pushed back. He needs the 15 for the first down. It appears like he has enough. He does. A big run by Brock Zabe. And for a rare time tonight, no flags. Jaden Miller was in on the end of that play and is still sitting down on the field. But Brock Zabe gives Stanley County first down number 10. They're right on the line they needed, the 15-yard line of Timberlake. And while they check on Miller, who is now up to his feet, let's take a break, an Integra timeout. 10:21 left. Stanley County driving, looking to come closer a tie. They trail Timberlake 14-6, and we're back to Timberlake in 30 seconds. 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
For reliable, safe, efficient, and economical electrical work, call Ferding Electric. Ferding Electric staffs licensed, knowledgeable electricians to help you with all your electrical projects. New construction, rewires, or upgrades, residential or commercial, Ferding Electric knows how to get the job done right. Call Ferding Electric at 224-8684. Stop in at 2903 East Elizabeth, just off the truck bypass. See Ferding.com or find them on Facebook. Ferding Electric, licensed electricians, quality service, and dependable products since 1956.
Miller off the field. Stanley County setting up 1st and 10. Timberlake 15. Zabe, nobody open, so now he runs to the left side to the 10-yard line and down inside the 10. Another good run by Zabe. Slater Duchesneau able over there to stop him, but Brock Zabe, who has had his best game so far running the ball, just gained 8 more to the 7-yard line of Timberlake, where it'll be 2nd down and 2. Colton Brady has the touchdown run for Stanley County, who trails 14-6. Remember, the conversion went badly. So if they score the touchdown, you know they tried for 2. There's still 10 minutes and 7 seconds to go in this game, so still a lot can happen, but what a big drive here for SC. 2nd down and 2 at Timberlake's 7-yard line. Zabe under center. Fullback Schweitzer. Tailback is Colton Brady, and they hand it to Schweitzer up the middle. He's across the 5-yard line. That's a first down near the 4 or 3. Schweitzer running into guys in burgundy, but Schweitzer has the first down. Barrett Schweitzer, who has contributed so much on both sides of the ball. Slater Ducheneau and Grayson Hansen in on the stop, but he gained all the way down to the 3-yard line of Timberlake for 4. First and goal with Stanley County trying to come back. They have turned it over. Remember, they turned it over early 3 times. Timberlake has turned it over 4 times tonight. First and goal, Stanley County at the Timberlake 3, down 8, still 9:29 left. Zabe under center, handed to Schweitzer at left guard, tries to fight his way through. He's not quite there. Stanley County players signal touchdown, but they're not the ones who matter. The officials say he's just a little bit short of the end zone, but not by much. He gained a couple down to the 1-yard line. Stanley County a yard away from being a conversion away from possibly tying this game. They're down 14-6 with 8:57 to play. One wide out this time, and that's Hansen to the right. 2 tight ends. They run out of the eye on second and goal from the 1. Zabe taking it straight ahead. End zone, touchdown. Stanley County, they're within 2 points. 14-12. Brock Zabe has the touchdown run on his 15th carry of the night. He now has 44 yards. There's still 8:44 left. But SC will try to tie this game. At times, the offense has not been able to move the ball, but their defense has bailed them out with 4 interceptions. And now they have a 2-point try to tie this game. And they'll keep the offense out, obviously. Down 2 points. Q Bourne is out there. He's tight end to the left and 2 receivers to the right. Those are Chase Hansen and Colton Brady. And Zabe looks that way. Throws for Frost, and Blaze catches it in the end zone for the tying 2-point conversion. The Buffaloes have come back from 14-0 down. We're back where we started with 8:44 left as we take time out. Stanley County 14, Timberlake 14. Back in 30 seconds. Here on 1060 103.1 KGFX.
Competitive pay, check. A rewarding and fun environment, check. And best of all, caring for residents and being a part of an amazing team, check and check. Hi, this is Kim Brackey from Edgewood and Pierre. We are looking for more dedicated healthcare heroes to join our team. Do you know what makes working at Edgewood so great? We provide care in a fun working environment where you will experience a warm welcome from our amazing team and residents. Come work for a purpose. Give us a call at 494-3400 to learn more. Edgewood, where home and healthcare meet.
Stanley County goes 25 yards in 7 plays. Remember, this was after the interception by Chase Hansen. They take 3:44. They do punch it in on the Zabe keeper from a yard out, and then Brock through to Blaze Frost for the tying 2-point conversion. It is 14-all. There's still 8:44 left. What a game in Timberlake. The Stanley County young team trying to come up with a big road win. Now it's up to their defense. Tyler Leiferman is ready to kick, and it'll be taken on about his 11. This is by Cole Ducheneau. Cole is to the left side, 25, 30, 35, and a good return by Cole. He's all the way out to his 40-yard line. And Schweitzer was finally in on the play, but Cole Ducheneau with a good return sets Timberlake up at their own 40-yard line. Now, can the Panthers hang on to the ball? Well, you're not going to believe this, folks. We have another flag at the end of the play. This is beyond belief how many penalties there have been in this game. A block in the back on Timberlake is going to set them back. Well, they're not going to be at their 40. They're going to be back at their 27-yard line instead. The 11th penalty of the game called anyway on Timberlake. They're back at their 27. That is 11 for 117 yards. Timberlake on first down across the 30 and down to the 34. That's Hansen on a keeper. Grace is brought down by Blaze Frost, but Hansen showing that speed again. He has 7 more to his 34, and now he's up to 174 yards on 11 carries. Second down, 3. Timberlake from their 34 in a tie game at 14. 8:12 left in the fourth quarter. What a game here in Dewey County. Snap to Hansen. Yeah, just take it and run again. Why not? Cross the 35-40. First down. Chase Hansen wouldn't let him break away, but he is out to his 42-yard line. It's enough for a first down. But Hansen has been their go-to guy tonight, and why not? With the 2 big runs, 73-yarders set up one of the touchdowns. Spotted near his 43. First and 10 for Timberlake. Run it out of a single setback, and that is Miller. Good to see him back in there. He is wrapped up after he made it to the 45 by Leiferman. Oh, and Tyler let him know he was hit, and Jaden Miller says, come on, where's the flag? He better stop that or he might get called himself. The forward progress is to the 45-yard line of Timberlake for a gain of a couple. Second down and 8. Yeah, Leiferman really followed through on the hit. Second and 8, Timberlake from their 45. Single setback again. Snap to Hansen across midfield in the arms of Brady. It's near the 48-yard line of Stanley County, but it's going to set up a third down. That is to the 49-yard line of Stanley County for a gain of 6 and make it third down at about 2. Timberlake on third down, just 2 for 8. Can the SC defense come up with a big stop? What will Timberlake do here? It's receiver to the right, 1 to the left. They hand it off with Miller. Left guard 45, first down. He's to the Stanley County 43. Schweitzer brought him in, but Miller had a good head of steam. And Jaden Miller gives Timberlake big first down for them to the Buffs 43-yard line. 6:30 left, and you would imagine Timberlake, and again, the running game's how they do it. And you would imagine they will try to keep it on the ground here and eat up some clock in a 14-14 game, nearing the midway part of the fourth quarter. 1 receiver right and 1 to the left. Hansen is back to throw. Here comes Baldwin to try to chase him down, and he cuts around the right side, turns it upfield, and has a few. That's a good scramble there by Hansen. Nathaniel Nelson brought him in. He gained a couple to the 41-yard line. Yeah, that's good for Hansen and Timberlake to gain, too. It could have been a loss of about 8. Second down and 8 for Timberlake at Stanley County's 41. Tie game at 14. 5:45 left in the fourth quarter. We hope you're enjoying it. We are. Receiver set each way. A drop on the handoff. Never made it to Miller, and I think Hansen fell on that for Timberlake. Oh, boy. Stanley County close to that football. Nathaniel Nelson was right there near it, but it was Grayson Hansen who fell on the ball after the handoff did not work. But Hansen has it. Ooh. And on third down, they handed up the middle, trying to break one tackle, but not being able to take a second. Is Hansen on the keeper. Gain of a couple down to the 39-yard line of Stanley County. And, of course, they'll keep it with the offense here on 4th down and 6 at the SC 39. Down to 4:35 in regulation and a tie game at 14. Enormous play for both sides here. Miller to a wing on the right. Cole Ducheneau to the left. Slater Ducheneau is wide to the right. Snap back to Grayson Hansen and cuts around right end. Planes off one tackler. He's brought down. It is Paxton Deal who wouldn't let him turn the corner. And Stanley County has held and has it back with 4:17 to go with a chance to take the lead in this game. What a play by Deal. He's made 2 picks tonight, and he comes up with an enormous defensive play right there. It was a loss of a yard. Back to the SC 38. The Buffs start from there. They have 2 timeouts. They have 4:17 left in a tie game at 14. Can this young team come through? Zabe, stretch handoff. Up the middle. Colton Brady is pushed back by Grayson Hansen. Gain of a couple or so. Ooh, Brady has taken some punishing hits tonight from this Timberlake defense. 41-yard line for a gain of 3. Second down, 7, just under the 4-minute mark remaining. This would be as big a win as a road win as this team's had in a while. It's tied right now. 2 men wide to the right. Brandon Bothwell, the freshman, one of those, and he is the man that goes in motion and takes the sweep around left end. Bothwell cuts up to his 45-yard line. He's out of bounds just shy of midfield. Bothwell has been in on a few plays. Is able to make the sweep there. Thane Keller was in on the play. It is to the 47-yard line of Stanley County, 3rd down and a yard. Clock stopped with a ball going out of bounds on that play. 3:32 left in the 4th quarter. The referee says, let's hold up here for just a moment. They're going to put Stanley County back into their huddle because they're going to measure here. They say this is might be close enough. Let's see. They need the 48. It was out of bounds right near there. They have to bring the sticks all the way from the SC sideline to the Timberlake sideline. They'll stretch them out. Is it a first down? It's not, but not by much. Not by much at all. Only about 1.5 feet. That's all the Buffaloes need, and it's 3rd down. Now you got to make sure everything goes right. Make that snap right. Make the blocking go. This offensive line who did the job last week. Again, they've got the sophomore Rogo and the freshman Colden, the sophomore Baldwin doing the job. 3rd down, maybe 1.5 feet, just outside the SC 48. And a tie game at 14, 3:32 left in the 4th quarter. Pistol for Zabe. Cade Montana wide to the right. There's a wide out to the left, too, for the Buffs. Moving from left to right. You can watch this one at the KGFX page at drgnews.com and the DRG News app. Brought to you by Bauman Lumber. Now they'll make sure that the down marker is on the right place and the first down chains, and now we're ready to go. 3rd down, less than a yard. Zabe's just going to take it at right guard. He dives across midfield and has the Stanley County first down in Timberlake territory at the 48. Keller grabbed him by the ankle, but Zabe was able to move forward in a really heady game here, running the ball for Brock Zabe. And he is to the 48-yard line of Timberlake for 4 more. 49 yards, 5-yard gain. 49 yards on 16 carries for Brock. 2:55 left. Stanley County and Timberlake tied at 14, and Stanley County is 1st and 10 on the Timberlake 48-yard line. Chase Hansen in motion from right to left. Handoff in the counter play. This is Brady trying to make it through around right end, but Thane Keller's there to meet him. What a game that young man is having, too. And he held Colton to about a yard gain. That's all. 2nd down and 7 SC from the Timberlake 47-yard line. Stanley County trying to keep it on the ground and maybe not give Timberlake the ball back in regulation. Down to 2:20 to go. They need 9 on 2nd down here. Out of the huddle. Hansen and Deal to the right. There's a receiver also to the left. Pistol again for Brock Zabe. Brady beside him. Zabe takes it up the middle. 45-yard line, 43 before he's pushed back. That'll also bring up 3rd down and short. Miller again in on a play, and Jaden Miller, he had to come off the field a little earlier, and he has been having a hard time getting up for about the last 3 plays in a row. The gain of 4 more. Makes it 3rd and 5 for Stanley County at the Timberlake 43. Buffs 5 of 10, as well as they've done on 3rd down all season. Big play here. We're down to 90 seconds left in regulation and a tie game at 14. Stanley County taking all the time they can. They're still in the huddle as the back judge puts up the hand saying there's 10 seconds left to snap it. Max Fo's going to take a timeout right here as the count starts at 5 and 4 and 3, and now the timeout call. We're down to a minute 12 left. Let's take a 30-second timeout and then come right back. An Actegra timeout. Ooh, tie game at 14. We're back in 30 here on KGFX.
There's Thursday Night Lights and all of the weekend highlights, but nothing beats Monday nights with Monday Night Football on Venture High Def TV. You'll catch all the action this Monday, October 3rd. Tune into ESPN Channel 21 as the Rams head to Levi Stadium and take on the 49ers at 7 p.m. Venture Communications, your home for ESPN and Monday Night Football. Call Venture Communications today for High Def TV service and more. 852-2224.
There's one timeout left for Stanley County, but Timberlake has all of theirs. So you know that if they can stop Stanley County here, they would probably use one of their timeouts remaining. We're down to 54 seconds left in regulation in a 14-14 game here in Timberlake. Stanley County lost to Hankcraft and Timberlake here a year ago in the opener 40-0. They're trying to come up with their second straight win, and wouldn't it be enormous? Again, we'll tell you the Buffs have been pretty good on third down, especially in the second half. 5 of 10 for the night. 3rd and 4, Timberlake's 43. Stack receivers, 2 to the right, a receiver to the left, wing to the left. Zabe in the shotgun sends Deal in motion to the left. Low snap, Zabe with a pump fake. He's able to throw to the right side. He wants Hansen, and it's incomplete inside the 10. The coverage pretty good, too, down there by Cole Ducheneau. Oh, Hansen nearly had his hands on that one. So Timberlake doesn't have to use their timeout. The clock is stopped with 1:04 remaining. There were 54 seconds when the when the timeout happened. They must have put time back on the clock. So anyway, Stanley County, well, they've got to play it safe here and punt the football with Paxton Deal in punt formation. Hansen standing back at around his 15, a little bit of pressure. And a wobbler is taken on a run by Hansen at his 20-yard line, 24-yard line and out of bounds. So it'll be Timberlake, it appears, with a last chance in regulation with 56.2 seconds to play. And Hansen took it from about his own 19 down to his 24-yard line. Well, a thriller in Timberlake. Now the Panthers. Again, they have all their timeouts. And they are 1st and 10 from their 24. And it's Hansen, 25, cuts left at the 30. Tackle is broken, 35. First down. He's down near his 39. Clock will be stopped while they move the chains. Chase Hansen made the tackle, but this is a 15-yard gain to his 39. They'll get the chains in place. Clock stopped at 48 seconds. Now it's running again as they're set. Still all 3 timeouts for Timberlake, who are 1st and 10 from their own 39 in a tie game. Hansen around right end, 44-yard line. Barrett Schweitzer able to stop him there. Now Timberlake's going to burn that first timeout. Let's keep it right here. We don't want to miss anything. Hansen runs for 5 more before Barrett Schweitzer makes the stop, and Grayson Hansen tonight is now up to 214 yards on 19 carries. They've had a 190-yard game from a rusher this season, but Hansen tonight with 214. So there's the first timeout for Timberlake, 37 seconds left in regulation. Second down coming up for Timberlake. For the moment, let's pause for station identification.
Driven by the Office of Highway Safety, 1060 KGFX Pier. Rebroadcasting on K276 GT 103.1 FM Fort Pierre. Stay alive, don't text and drive.
This Stanley County defense, which has been tested so much tonight, done pretty well. 4 picks. Now it's up to them to stop Timberlake and force overtime. We're tied at 14, 37 seconds to go. In regulation, Brock Zabe had the 1-yard touchdown plus a 2-point conversion earlier in this fourth quarter to tie this game. It's 14-all. Second down and 5, Timberlake from their 44, 37 seconds to go in regulation. Snap is back to Grayson Hansen. Some pressure now. He runs free down the right side, 45, midfield and out of bounds. Good job by him to stop the clock. Now 29 seconds left. They will mark him out right at midfield for 6 more. And that's enough for the first down, of course. So 4 fresh downs here for Timberlake. They're able to conserve the 2 timeouts they still have to use, and they're at midfield. They tried a field goal earlier. Think about that. It was a short by Farley. But they may not be thinking that. They're thinking end zone. 29 seconds left, 1st and 10, midfield for Timberlake in a 14-14 game. From right to left, snap back to Hansen. Grayson at his own 43, directs some traffic, wants to throw, long down the right side for Miller. It's knocked down by Chase Hansen on a great play, and a flag is down here at the end of the play. What's this for? Great play by Chase Hansen to knock it away before it got to Jaden Miller. Well, there was an eligible man downfield, I think the side judge is saying. Yeah, it is. Now the decision for Stanley County, do they accept this or decline this? If you accept this, you put him back yards, even though it's still first down. And I would imagine at this point, the Buffs, no, they declined it. What a play, though, by Hansen to break that pass up. We are down to 20 seconds to go in regulation. 2nd down and 10 for Timberlake. They're on midfield, 14 all with 20 seconds to go in regulation time. Cole Ducheneau to the left, Slater Ducheneau in motion from the right to the left, but they hand it to Grayson Hansen, 45, cuts at the 40. There's a first down. He's down to around the 37 before he's brought down by Cash Richardson. But Grayson Hansen keeps carrying the mail for Timberlake. He is to the 37-yard line. 13 yards and a first down. 15 seconds left, and Timberlake has taken that second timeout. And again, we'll keep it right here. So again, what will they do here? By the way, Chamberlain is leading 25-7 over Vermilion through 3 on KPLO. Pierre with a rally. They're within 12, where they're within 6 of Brandon Valley. 34-28, Brandon Valley leads through 3 on River 92.7. But what a thriller we have here. Second timeout by Timberlake, so they're down to 1 left. Just under 15 seconds to play. To be exact, 14.8. As Timberlake in a 14-14 game. After Stanley County came back from 14-0 down. Survived 3 first-quarter turnovers. Only 1 score came from those. Trips to the right. 1st and 10, Timberlake. Stanley County 37. From right to left. Hansen to the right. Cuts upfield. 35. Down to about the 32. Stanley County with a good play by Noah Baldwin. And that forces Timberlake to use their last timeout with 8 seconds left. And again, we'll keep it here. Good job to stay with Hansen there by Noah Baldwin. Held him to a gain of 3 to the 34-yard line of Timberlake. And now, with 8 seconds left, you've got to imagine if they're going to put the ball in the air, they're going to go for the end zone. As Stanley County tries to hold on and force overtime. Lemon McIntosh for the Buffs next Friday night. Remember, it's a 7:30 airtime on KGFX next Friday evening. Will the Buffs be 3-3? They have played so well defensively tonight with the interceptions, some big stops on 3rd down. Now the down nearly irrelevant with 8 seconds left. You know Timberlake's going to go for it all here. They're out of timeouts. It is 2nd down. It is Hansen back to throw. Now he runs down the right sideline to the 25, and he's out of bounds with 3 seconds to play. Hansen got out of bounds to stop that clock. So there will be one more chance here
2 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
For Timberlake, they do have a first down to the 24-yard line of Stanley County. Last play of regulation time in a tie game at 14. 3 receivers to the left. Will they go for the end zone here? Hansen, he is throwing down the middle for Miller. It's through his hands. Oh my goodness, it went through the hands of Chase Hansen. It then went through the hands of Jaden Miller. Regulation time has ended. We have overtime in Timberlake. Miller nearly had it. Then Chase Hansen nearly had the 5th interception for Stanley County tonight. Instead, it landed harmlessly in the end zone. And we have overtime in a tie game at 14. Wow. Overtime comes your way in 2 minutes. High school football, the KGFX page at drgnews.com and at 1060 103.1 KGFX.
Yes Way Rewards members not only get savings on in-store items and cool free stuff, they also get savings on gas, including an instant fuel discount upon registering. Join now at yesway.com. Yesway. Say yes to convenience.
It's pretty obvious the world is moving faster than ever, and that means my health sometimes takes a back seat. Pressing pause on life to call for an appointment, shuffle my afternoon schedule, drive across town for a doctor's appointment sometimes feels impossible. My day just got better because I'm feeling better with the help of Avera Now. I can use my mobile device or computer for an online video visit that allows me to see a provider for urgent care conditions 24/7. Technology that fits my life with the quality healthcare of Avera. Learn how to begin at avera.org/now.
There's Thursday Night Lights and all of the weekend highlights, but nothing beats Monday nights with Monday Night Football on Venture High Def TV. You'll catch all the action this Monday, October 3rd. Tune into ESPN Channel 21 as the Rams head to Levi Stadium and take on the 49ers at 7 p.m. Venture Communications, your home for ESPN and Monday Night Football. Call Venture Communications today for High Def TV service and more. 852-2224.
This fall, take some time to think about your future. While the leaves make their way down to earth and the last sunset of summer leaves us with an autumn chill, it's time to grab the nearest foam finger and break up a face paint. Rush the stands with First Dakota National Bank and forget how to blink. Fall sports are back with jaw-dropping plays, an electric atmosphere, and epic scores. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
Stanley County has come from 14-0 down to force overtime, and oh, how close this game was to ending in Timberlake's favor. A pass from Grayson Hansen first went through the hands of Jaden Miller. Then Chase Hansen almost had another interception, but instead the incompletion on the last play of regulation. So at the start of overtime, it's a coin toss, of course, to decide who wants to play offense or defense and which end of the field. And teams in overtime, almost always when they win the toss, choose to play defense first. Stanley County did win the toss. And you would imagine they'll play defense first here. Each team, of course, will have a possession.
Timberlake is on offense.
So Timberlake will have the ball first in overtime.
Side of the field.
They will go to towards the south end, the end to our left. Remember, watch this at the KGFX page, brought to you by Bauman Lumber. Brock Zabe with a touchdown in the fourth quarter, then a tying 2-point conversion on a pass to Blaze Frost. And Stanley County, who was, again, you got to start thinking about seed point standing. Stanley County started the night at number 15. They're 2-3. If they can win this one, it would probably almost assure them almost of a playoff spot. But, you know, they've still got 2 games to take care of after that. And you got to take care of Lemon McIntosh next week. But that's next week. is 1st and 10 to start overtime at the 10-yard line of Stanley County. They scrimmage from the 10, and Hansen on the first play runs into the 5. Another tackle broken, and he's into the end zone. Grayson Hansen has taken one play to put Timberlake back in front on the first play of overtime. 20-14, Timberlake back in the lead. First time they have led since the early part of the fourth quarter. And they will try for 2 to try to make it an 8-point lead. Why not give it to Hansen? That's the 24th time they've done it. 256 yards with a touchdown. What a night for Grayson Hansen, who is in the pistol as they go for 2 and just keeps himself again. And he's in for 2. That's what I'd do too, I think, because this young man is having quite a night. So now Stanley County will have it, and again, they're down 8, so they have to score and make 2 to keep the game going. They'll stay on the same end of the field. That's the end to our left. Grayson Hansen with a touchdown run. So now Stanley County with their chance in overtime. At the 10, 1st and goal. Down 8, 22-14. Zabe. He'll take it himself through right guard. A couple of yards, but no more as Miller and others are in to stop him. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Takes her head for about 2.
A gain of about 2 to the Timberlake 8-yard line. So, 2nd and goal at the 8-yard line of Timberlake as the Panther defense tries to hold on for the victory in overtime. 22-14 Timberlake. They scored on one play. Montana wide to the right. Deal and Hansen to the left. Now Chase in motion from left to right, and they're going to hand it to Brady up the middle off one tackle. 8-yard line, but that's about all. Maybe not even that. A.J. Linsko was able to stop him. Excellent play there. In fact, he may have lost yardage. Well, looks like no gain. But in any case, it is 3rd down and goal, and Stanley County has 2 plays left and 8 yards to go. And then they have to hit a 2-point conversion. 22-14 Timberlake. We're in overtime. Zabe comes to the bench to get a play. You got a timeout. Each team does in overtime. And Max Foth's going to use it right here. Stanley County will take it, and again we'll keep it here. Well, what do the Buffs have dialed up here? They need 8 yards in 2 plays, and they have to score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion or it's over. By the way, we can update the Pierre Governors. They have now taken the lead in Brandon over Brandon Valley 45-34, having scored on their last 6 possessions against the 11 AAA Lynx. After they were down fairly big early in that game. They were down 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. Brian has that on River 92-7. That Governor team proving again why they're the best in 11 AA, and they're trying to breed 11 AAA. But here, Stanley County in overtime, down 22-14 to Timberlake after the touchdown run by Grayson Hansen, and he ran it in for 2. They've gained 2 yards on 2 plays and have now 3rd down and goal at the Timberlake 8. You start from the 10 with overtime possessions. 2 receivers each way. Brady in the backfield. Pistol formation for Zabe. He sends Barrett Schweitzer in motion from left to right. Snap is back to Brock. Throws on the left side. It is caught by Montana with a knee down just short of the end zone. Caden Montana just able to make a good possession catch there to give Stanley County one last chance. At the 3. A gain of 5. It's now or never for Stanley County. They have to score and convert the 2-point conversion. They're down 22-14. Last chance. Brady and Hansen and Schweitzer all to the right. Tight end, Cuborn to the left. 4th down, goal from the 3. Zabe through right guard, big hole, touchdown Stanley County. They're still alive and they're down 2. Brock Zabe has his 2nd touchdown run of the night. Now they must score the 2-point conversion to force a 2nd overtime. 22-20. Zabe, his 19th carry, he now has 68 yards. And now, everybody knows what the Buffs need. Hansen, wide right, slot right, Colton Brady. Schweitzer on a wing to the right. They need the 2 here. Zabe at right guard. He is held up. Back at the 3-yard line. Timberlake hangs on. The charge was made by the senior Caleb Bieber, holding Zabe out of the end zone. The play by Caleb Bieber, and Timberlake hangs on for a 22-20 overtime win. An amazing effort by the Stanley County Buffaloes, but they take the loss and more than likely need to win at Lemon McIntosh next Friday to keep playoff hopes alive. Ooh, a tough one for the Buffs, a great game. A great game by Timberlake, and they come through and hold on in overtime. Our final score at Doug Kraft Field in Timberlake. What a game this was in overtime. The Timberlake Panthers 22. The Stanley County Buffaloes 20. Timberlake now improves to 5-2. They end their regular season next week at Harding County Bison. And Stanley County is now at 2-4. Stay tuned for our Family Dental Appear in Gettysburg postgame when the Bauman Lumber Player of the Game will also go over the stats and other scores too. What an effort by Stanley County, but this will be a tough ride home with a tough loss to take in overtime. Timberlake holds on and wins 22-20. Our Family Dental Appear in Gettysburg postgame from Timberlake comes your way in 2 minutes. High school football, the KGFX page at drgnews.com and the DRG News app and on 1060, 103.1 KGFX.
Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre can help you with preconditioning home-raised calves for fall. Let Sioux Nation show you how preconditioning can be beneficial for increased weight gain, improved feedlot performance, reduced feedlot sickness, and improved sale price. Vaccination programs using Vista Once, Bovi Shield Gold One Shot, and Pyramid 5 pre-spawns. Also, Ultrabac 7 Sambuac. See Sioux Nation in Fort Pierre for the newest technology and latest products for preconditioning your calves for increased profits from your herd.
Flip your loan, lower your payment with great rates from Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. This is Jody. Now is the time to refinance your vehicle or recreational vehicle with rates as low as 2.3%. Plus, no payments for 90 days and $75 cash after finalization. Come see us on North Garfield Avenue at Northridge Plaza. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
United.com and American Airlines. If traveling to Denver, schedule your flight at DenverAirConnection.com. Plus, the morning flight is at 8:20, allowing you to connect to the majority of continued flights. Avoid the crowds, enjoy free parking, and no driving when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 50 passenger jets and a 1-hour direct flight to Denver. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
The team at Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg are devoted to spending time with each patient to answer all questions and address any concerns that arise. Family Dental wants all their current and future patients to feel welcome and comfortable and to have the healthiest, best-looking smile possible. They can take care of all your family's dental needs with cleanings, checkups, implants, same-day crowns, and many other dental services. Dr. Ryan Jensen welcomes new patients. Family Dental in Pierre and Gettysburg, caring for all your family's dental needs.
A remarkable game at Doug Kraft Field in Timberlake, and it was the Panthers who had the biggest play at the end. Caleb Bieber holding Zabe out of the end zone as he tried to tie it with the 2-point conversion and force a second overtime after Zabe had scored the touchdown to make it 22-20. But that's how it ends, with Timberlake winning and sending Stanley County to a tough loss and probably putting the Buffs in a must-win situation at Lemon McIntosh next Friday to try to make the postseason. They started tonight again in the 15th seed point position in 11 AA. So this loss, they'll probably at least stay there. We'll see what happens when everything is sorted out. What a game this was. It started with a lot of turnovers early on. In fact, Paxton Deal lost a fumble on the first Stanley County possession, and Timberlake had it at the Stanley County 11, but 4 downs and out. Stanley County, however, had a Zabe interception by Cole Duchesneau. I think Keller had the first one. Cole Duchesneau's interception, and Timberlake had it back, but then they went 3 and out. Stanley County then had another interception from Zabe. Slater Duchesneau picked this one off. And Timberlake turned that one into points on a Slater Duchesneau 55-yard sweep. 1:53 left in the first, and it was a 7-0 Timberlake lead. And it stayed that way until the early part of the second quarter. After a Stanley County punted, put Timberlake back to their 6th. Timberlake then put together a 94-yard drive, including a 73-yard run by Grayson Hansen, and he ended the drive with a 10-yard touchdown pass to Cole Duchesneau, extra point, 14-0 Stanley County. But the Buffs scored on the next possession, helped by a couple of penalties, but they did score as Colton Brady had a 9-yard touchdown run. They didn't make the conversion, and they were down 14-6, and that was the halftime score. In the second half, interception by Paxton Deal on Timberlake's first possession. But then Stanley County didn't make it on 4th down their first time with the football. Deal had another interception on Timberlake's second possession. Just over 5 minutes left in the third, and Stanley County had to punt. Timberlake then went 3 and out, and late in the third, Stanley County started the eventual tying drive, a 75-yard drive, helped by penalties, or I shouldn't say 75, a 25-yard drive, as helped by a couple of penalties, certainly. But Zabe, with 8:44 left, tied or at least made it 14-12 with a 1-yard touchdown run, and then Zabe found Blaze Frost in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. The game was tied at 14. Hansen carried on Timberlake's next possession down to the 39 of Stanley County from their 27, but Deal made a great play to stop him on 4th down. Stanley County had their chance with just over 4 minutes to play, had 1 first down, but ended up punting. Timberlake gained it back with just under a minute left in this game. Hansen with 3 first down carries. They started at their 24, eventually made it to Stanley County's 24. With 3 seconds left, Hansen tried to throw a winning touchdown pass, but it was just out of the hands of Jaden Miller and just beyond the reach of Stanley County's Chase Hansen for what would have been the Buffs' 5th interception tonight. So it went to overtime. Stanley County won the toss, elected to play defense, and it took Timberlake 1 play to gain the lead back on a 10-yard touchdown run by Hansen, and he ran it in for 2 to make it 22-14. Stanley County was, they were on 4th down. They had to go for it, of course. They had made it to the 3-yard line of Timberlake, but Brock Zabe ran it in to make it 22-20, and then Zabe trying to go through right guard and trying to tie the game. But Caden Bieber stopped him for Timberlake, and the homestanding Panthers held on for a nail-biting, knuckle-whitening 22-20 overtime win. A remarkable game tonight here in Timberlake. And, oh, boy, yes, Stanley County played so very well, but, this is going to be a bit of a difficult loss to accept for Stanley County, who comes up 2 points short and falls to 2-4. And again, we stress the importance of where they stand in the seed point standings. They were 15th coming in. So this loss, they probably will pretty much, you would imagine, stay at number 15. So that means that the game in Lemon with Lemon McIntosh next Friday night is so vitally important for the Buffs. We'll have it for you 7:30 here on KGFX next Friday night. They're at home to Faith in the final week of the regular season. So, again, one win in those two will assure Stanley County of making the postseason. But if they lose both, they're probably going to be out. So the next two games, so very important for this young team and what strides they've made, first with the win over White River with a big running game, and then almost upsetting a good Timberlake team on the road. Hey, let's name our Bauman Lumber player of the game. There are a lot of candidates for it. One guy, oh man, he would really deserve it, but I don't think I'm going to give it to him. I'll tell you who we will give it to when we come back after this from Bauman Lumber from Timberlake in 30 seconds here on KGFX.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Bauman Lumber is locally owned and offers quality products, expert advice, free estimates, and free local delivery for large or small projects. Whether it's a home improvement project, remodel job, or all new construction, they even welcome special orders. Quality building materials and affordable prices for residential or commercial projects can be found at Bauman Lumber, 1223 Sale Barn Road, Fort Pierre, or call 223-9762.
On about any other night, I think the T-shirt would go to Grayson Hansen for his remarkable game running the football, most unofficially. But we had him for 256 yards and 24 carries. But Paxton Deal, you just can't deny what he did. He had 2 more interceptions. He now has 6 this year. The Buffs had 4 interceptions. They're up to 13. And, of course, made that big defensive play late in the game. The freshman Paxton Deal didn't play like a freshman tonight. He played like someone advanced in years. Paxton Deal is going to be our Bauman Lumber player of the game and receive the T-shirt. And Stanley County can be satisfied with a fantastic effort, but they are going to be crushed on the ride home that they couldn't come out of here with the victory. But I'll tell you who did, and that's the Pierre Governors. 43-34. They scored on 6 straight possessions after being down 21-0 early in the game at 11 AAA Brandon Valley, a very good Lynx team. But the Governors showed again why they're the best in 11 AA. They come back to win it and improve to 6-0. They go to Huron to play the Tigers next Friday night, and that's something else by head coach Steve Steele's team as they improve to 6-0. Let's tell you about other scores before we leave you tonight of Central South Dakota teams. In 11A, Chamberlain has a lead still over Vermilion as they try to hang on. 25-14 as they play in Chamberlain. 5 minutes to go. Darren has that game on 94.5, 100.5 KPL. Though that'd be a good win for the Cubs, who started on 11th in the seed points in 11A, and it would improve them to 2-4. In 11B, Miller Highmore Herald, they knew they'd have their hands full tonight, and they certainly did. Losing at Elk Point Jefferson 55-0. The Rustlers are at 2-5. The showdown happened tonight in Emory. Wasn't a showdown. It was just a show-off for the Winter Warriors, who rolled, the top-ranked Warriors did, over second-ranked Bridgewater Emory. Ethan, 36-0. Winners' winning streak is now at 29. And Mobridge Pollock's last hope of the playoffs is about to go away. The Tigers, it looks like, are going to suffer their 4th loss in a row. They're trailing at Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central 42-18, but only 2 minutes to play in that game. Lyman in 9-man football, rebounding from the loss last week to Wall all over Bennett County tonight, 54-0. The Raiders win it. Faulkton area rolls over North Central, 54-3. Dupree just underway in the third quarter, having no problem at Newell, leading by a score of 27-2. Leola Frederick area has taken the lead now in Potter County, 14-6 in Gettysburg. That game on 100.7 KMLO with Dave Williams, a minute left in the third. Kimball White Lake's first win of the year. The Wildcats needed this. They win at Del Rapids St. Mary. Boy, Del Rapids St. Mary, of course, lost a lot from the good teams they've had the last couple of years, but good win for Kimball White Lake, 50-20. Platte Geddes is going to hang on for a victory at Woolsey Wessington, it appears. 35-24. The Black Panthers lead that game with only 1 minute to play. So Platte Geddes will improve with that victory to 3-3. Remember, they'd lost their first 3 games. Harriet Selby area hasn't lost yet. They're now 6-0 after a 60-20 win in Harriet. That was over Northwestern tonight. No action this week for Sully Buttes. They go to Fresno to play Lyman, which should be a great game next Friday night. Phillip at home trying to go to 5-1, and they're on top of Kadoka area, 20-8, as that game is in the midway part of the third quarter. Colome over Sunshine Bible Academy, that final was 44-13. Jones County led earlier, but now trailing New Underwood and Murdo. That's about to finish, so Jones County have fallen to 2-5. That score is 38-28 in favor of New Underwood over Jones County. Again, let's remind you of what we have ahead. First here on KGFX, back to Twins baseball tomorrow. Detroit Tigers in the second game of that next to last series of the season. That's at 4:30. And then remember, time has changed from what was originally scheduled. It'll be 10 a.m. on Sunday for Inside Twins, and then the final game of the series with the Twins and Tigers. And don't forget, Sunday morning, 94.5, 100.5 KPLO. It is Minnesota Vikings football against the New Orleans Saints at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. But tomorrow, River 92.7, it's Pierre Governor Volleyball trying to come back from the loss last night to O'Gorman at the Riggs High Gym. They'll take on Brandon Valley, who has struggled, but head coach Tiffany Soser says be careful. That's tomorrow, 2 o'clock on River 92.7. Stanley County Volleyball, their next action is Monday night, and that's at home against the Lyman Raiders at Parkview Auditorium. And Darren will have that one on Monday night on 94.5, 100.5 KPLO at around 7:25. And then we'll have their next home action after that against the Cologne Cowgirls at Parkview around 7:25 on Thursday night here on KGFX. And then, again, an enormous game for the Buffs in Lemon next Friday night against the Lemon Macintosh Lions. We'll join you from Lemon Lions Field. Remember, it's a later start time than normal, 7:30 next Friday night. South Dakota Office of Highway Safety celebrates being part of the team, reminds you to buckle up every trip, every time. So again, Stanley County now at 2-4, so close. Such a job that this team came up defensively with, but the first couple of plays of overtime ended up being the differences. Brock Zabe came back with the touchdown to make it a 2-point game, but was stopped in the 2-point conversion. Caleb Bieber was one of the biggest plays of the season for Timberlake. The South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you to keep your eyes on the road and not on your phone. High school football on 1060, 103.1 KGFX, brought to you by Yesway, Avera St. Mary's Hospital, First Dakota National Bank, Sioux Nation, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Pierre Regional Airport, Access Health Fort Pierre, Fisher Rounds and Associates Insurance and Real Estate, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Ferding Electric, Edgewood Healthcare, and Venture Communications. And these in-game sponsors also help bring you high school football on KGFX. Potsdam Agency, State Farm Insurance, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Montana Dakota Utilities, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection, Linz Dakota Martin, Fort Pierre, Agtegra, Family Dental, up here in Gettysburg, Bauman Lumber, and Wegner Auto bring you our scoreboard all evening. Remember, Wegner Auto, the one place to go, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer. They've been in Pierre since 1908. We've been up here 2 years in a row. Thanks again to the very nice folks here in Timberlake, including athletic director and head football coach Ryan Gimbel, who's got to be breathing a sigh of relief with his team winning, getting through all those penalties, but that's a big win for the Panthers. And thanks also to Chuck Hansen, our studio coordinator, with Kevin Larson also helping out tonight. I'm David Burrell. A spine tingler in Dewey County. The Stanley County Buffaloes come back to force overtime, but it's Timberlake who wins out, stopping the potential tying 2-point conversion that would have forced a second overtime. The final score one more time on the Wegner Auto scoreboard, Timberlake 22, Stanley County 20. Our video brought to you by Bauman Lumber, of course. You can watch the replay of this game in just moments at the KGFX page at DRG News app and the drgnews.com. Thank you so much for being with us. Have a great weekend, and good night from Timberlake.